Sweet Love of Mine. By Ashenafi. Int. Staples Center, Mixed Martial Art Fight, Night. Lewis vs. Ty. Lewis is a middleweight champion of the world. Ty is the challenger. They are going at it, throwing punches, kicking, grabbing, etc. Lewis spins 360 and kicks Ty on the head. Ty collects himself, comes right back, and hits Lewis with a flying kick. Down by the stage, we see a wise guy named Romeo Rossitini, 34, and an attractive young woman Lolita Flores, 25, sitting at the VIP seat and watching the fight. Romeo is the son of Luciano Rossitini, the Don of Rossitini crime family. Romeo's bodyguards stand everywhere, looking for any kind of unpredictable movement and making sure Romeo is safe. We see movie stars, models, young entrepreneurs, gangsters, rich businessmen, etc. The place is packed with glamorous people. In the ring, Lewis is beating the hell out of Ty, who is lying on his back, throwing one punch after another. Ty is bleeding. Lewis then looks at Romeo. Romeo nods at him. Lewis fakes wrist injury and stands back. Ty gets up and kicks Lewis on the head. Lewis falls on the floor. Ty punches him on the face. The referee quickly stops the fight and announces Ty as the winner of the fight. Romeo seems satisfied with the result, gets up, turns his eyes, and looks at a wise guy named Cesar Materazzi, 36, who is pissed off that Lewis threw the fight. He is the son of Roberto Materazzi, the Don of Materazzi crime family. Romeo and Cesar's eyes meet. Romeo doesn't like him. Cesar doesn't like him either. Romeo gives him "I'll cut your throat" sign. He runs his index finger across his neck. Cesar puts his hand under his chin, brushes it up as if he were telling him "fuck you," and walks away with his bodyguards. Romeo then looks at an African-American man named Prince, 33, who is standing with 4 attractive white girls. Prince sees Romeo. There is a bad blood between them. Romeo gives him a middle finger. He then puts his hands together in a prayer mode, places them next his cheek and gives him a sleeping sign. Romeo put Prince's brother Cato in a coma, but we don't know that yet. The gesture is for that. Prince ignores him and walks away with his lady friends. Romeo's 6 bodyguards stand around him and lead Romeo and Lolita toward VIP exit. There is no crowd. Int. Russian club, night. It's an upscale club. People dance as if it were the birth of Rasputin. It's figuratively speaking, but it's insane. We see attractive Eastern European girls dancing in the cages surrounded with fire. There are tigers, panthers, and lions in separate cages. More people are drinking, kissing, making out, and taking pills, kiss of death. The reason they call kiss of death is the drug gives people out-of-body experience, but that's a different story. Romeo and his 4 main bodyguards, Dario, Jimmy, Vito, and Fabrizio, walk through the crowd. Int. Russian club, Boris VIP room, night. A man named Boris Yuri, 42, sits between 6 attractive Russian girls. We see all kinds of alcoholic beverages on the table. Boris's bodyguards, Peter and Andrew, stand at the entrance. Romeo and his bodyguards come to Boris' VIP room. Andrew stops Romeo from moving any farther. Romeo tries to muscle him aside and enter, but Andrew holds his ground. Boris tells Andrew to let him pass. Romeo gives Andrew a look, comes to Boris, and sits on the sofa. Boris and Romeo talk. We don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. Boris then gives a nod to a bodyguard named Vladimir who is standing with a briefcase. Vladimir puts the bag on the table, in front of Romeo. Romeo opens the bag, revealing bags of pills, kiss of death. Romeo opens the bag, takes a pill from the bag, places it in his mouth, and swallows the tablet with scotch. He closes the briefcase and gives Fabrizio a nod to take the bag. Fabrizio takes the bag and stands aside. Romeo and Boris talk a little bit. Romeo then gets up, takes out his gun, and shoots Andrew's ear. Andrew holds his ear. His hand is covered with blood. They all draw their guns and point at their enemies. Mexico standoff. Boris tells his bodyguards to be cool and lets Romeo leave the place in peace. They stand back. Romeo and his bodyguards walk away. Int. Sunset Tower Hotel, after fight party, night. We see movie stars, aristocrats, models, and gangsters that we saw during the fight sitting at tables and having good times. On the stage, Ariana Grande sings side to side. A couple of folk dance on the open floor. Lolita sits at a table alone. Romeo's 2 bodyguards keep eyes on her. At the entrance, Romeo and his bodyguards, Vito and Fabrizio, come to the party. Romeo sees Lolita. He walks to her table. She sees him and gives him a sweet smile. He comes behind her, kisses her on the cheek, pulls a chair and sits at the table. They talk. We don't hear what they are saying due to Ariana Grande singing side to side. Romeo then sees his ex-girlfriend Cassandra making out with Cesar. He is kissing her. His hand is between her thighs. Romeo is not too happy about it. Cassandra looks at Romeo with the corner of her eye, and in order to make him jealous, she kisses Cesar with her tongue. Cesar caresses her tight and puts his hands between her legs. She makes a sexual sound. Romeo gets up, walks toward them, grabs a wine bottle from a table, in his way, approaches Cesar and crashes the bottle on the side of Cesar's head, just as Cesar turns and looks at him. Romeo then punches him mercilessly. Cassandra screams out of control in confusion. Romeo continues to punch him as if his soul were possessed by Satan. Cesari's face is covered with blood. The guests stop what they are doing and watch Romeo in bewilderment. Cassandra continues to scream. Cesari's 2 bodyguards rush to rescue him. But Romeo's 4 undercover bodyguards, who happen to be in the area, point their guns at Cesari's bodyguards. They stand still. Romeo continues to punch Cesar without any remorse. Securities and cops come to the building. Romeo's bodyguards hold Romeo to take him away. But Romeo is not done. He steps on Cesar's head several times. Romeo's bodyguards finally pull him away. Cassandra hits Romeo screaming. Romeo grabs her hair and takes her with him toward the back door as his bodyguards distract the cops. Cesar, holding Cassandra's hair, and 2 bodyguards exit through the back door. In the meantime, Vito, Romeo's bodyguard, approaches Lolita and escorts her toward the main exit. EXT Sunset Tower Hotel, back alley, night. Romeo's bodyguard, Jimmy, ties Cassandra's hands with tape. She is crying. Romeo pulls her hair and kisses her. He then bits her just a little bit and draws blood. Cassandra screams and continues to cry like a little girl. In the meantime, a bodyguard comes driving Romeo's convertible and stops nearby. Romeo slaps Cassandra with the back of his hand and gives Jimmy a sign. Jimmy tapes Cassandra's mouth. Romeo opens the trunk of his car. Pulls her hair, puts her in the trunk and closes it. He then throws a couple of $1,000s on the ground for his bodyguards, gets behind the wheel, and drives away. EXT Sunset Tower Hotel, front door, night. Lolita and Vito stand at the main entrance. Romeo comes driving and stops next to Lolita. Vito opens the door for Lolita. She gets in the passenger seat. Romeo and Lolita drive away. EXT Los Angeles STEEZ, Romeo's convertible, night. An established shot of endless light of Los Angeles City. Romeo's car is parked. EXT/int. Romeo's car, night. Romeo and Lolita are making out with kisses. Romeo hands goes between Lolita's thighs as they continue to kiss. Then, a black car comes driving and stops nearby. Unidentified person comes out of the car and walks toward Romeo's car. We don't know who the person is. We are looking at the person's point of view. The individual stops and waits for a few seconds. Romeo and Lolita continue to make out. Then a bullet explodes in Romeo's cheek. Another bullet pierces through his neck. A third bullet hits him in the chest. Lolita screams. The person, whose identity remains concealed, shoots her in the forehead. The killer shoots her in the breasts twice. The killer shoots Romeo 2 more times, in the forehead and chest, turns around and walks away. Romeo and Lolita's blood float in the air, zero gravity. Fade to, black. Sweet love of mine. Fade in. EXT Los Angeles, STEEZ, crime scene, morning. We see the dead bodies of Romeo and Lolita in the car. Detective Brad Smith, 38, forensic team Jody and Luke and Dr. Crow are in the middle of collecting evidence. The forensic photographer, Toby, take the pictures of the bodies. Captain Nathan Carter, LAPD, and a detective named Ted Bell questions Cassandra, who is wearing a blanket. Then Detective Alicia Elias, 29, comes driving a 2010 Corvette convertible, and parks her car across the crime scene. She gets out of the car and walks to the crime scene. She is a very attractive woman, looks exactly like Alicia Vikander. Alicia, to Brad, what do we have? Brad, Romeo Rossitini and his girlfriend. Alicia, what's her name? Brad, Lolita Flores. They were killed between 12:30 a.m. to 1:30. Alicia looks at Cassandra as the captain and Ted continue to ask her questions. Alicia, who's that? Brad, that's Cassandra Finley. We found her in the trunk. Her hands were tied. Her mouth was covered with tape. Alicia, why didn't you tell me that on the phone? Brad, it must have slipped my mind. Alicia, what's her story? Brad, she said she was sleeping, heard a gunshot, and waked up. More shots were fired. She then heard a car driving away. Alicia, what was she doing in the trunk? Brad, Romeo put her. She's his ex-girlfriend. Alicia, who made the call? Brad, some guy who happened to be jogging 5 a.m. in the morning. He said he had to go to work. Ironically, he is an employee at FBI as a computer analyst. He is not agent or anything, works at Cyber Division, programming codes. We had no choice but let him go. Looks at his report paper. His name is Peter Williams. Alicia, what about the victims? Brad, cold blood murder. Romeo was shot 5 times. A bullet in his cheek. 1 in his forehead. He's shot in the neck. 2 in the chest. She's shot 3 times. A bullet in her forehead and 2 bullets in her left breast. Alicia takes out forensic gloves from her pocket, puts them on, and examines the bodies. Alicia, do you think it's a hit? Brad, it could be. Here is his wallet. He had $40,000 in cash and a couple of credit cards. Nothing is stolen. They just got through lifting fingerprint. Alicia looks at the wallets. Alicia, any other witness? She gives him back the wallets. Brad, none. Alicia focuses on the crime scene. On the soundtrack, music plays softly. Montage, Los Angeles. A quick take of the city of Los Angeles. Downtown Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign, Beverly Hills, the Kodak Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, Dodger Stadium, houses and buildings on the coastline of Pacific Ocean, millions of cars driving in the streets of Los Angeles and many more. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. It's a 2014 Mercedes convertible. Vincent, 32, drives in the streets of Los Angeles. On the soundtrack, music continues to play. He's a handsome man. ext Vincent Private Investigation Inc., day. An established shot of Vincent Private Investigation Incorporated. Vincent comes driving his Mercedes convertible, parks the car in front of the building, exits from his car, and walks toward the building. Int. Vincent Private Investigation Inc., main floor, day. Lucy Lee, 31, an Asian American, sits behind her desk and works on her computer. She is Vincent's secretary. Kevin, a private investigator in his 30s, is talking to a client named Jessica Stewart, 36. James Price, a private investigator in his 30s, sits at his glass office, talking on his cell phone. At the entrance, Vincent walks in, greets Lucy with a wink, and walks up to Jessica and Kevin. Vincent, hi. Jessica, hi. Jessica and Vincent shake hands. Vincent nods to Kevin, I'll take it from here, and escorts Jessica to his office. Int. Vincent's Private Investigation Inc., Vincent's office, day. Vincent and Jessica enter. Vincent asks her to sit. She sits at the table. Vincent sits behind his desk. Vincent, Mrs. Stewart, I am sorry to tell you this. We could not find your husband. I don't know what to tell you. Mr. Dawson might be killed by Yuri brothers. Sergei and Boris. They are Russian mafia. Jessica, I know who they are. Vincent, he was going to testify against Sergei Yuri. Offer look. You see. PCV is the main ingredient that they use to make the new drug Kiss of Death. Dawson was stealing PCV at the pharmaceutical company that he was working at, and selling them to Yuri brothers in black market. FBI found out about it and told him to testify against Sergei Yuri, or he would spend the rest of his life behind bars. He agreed to cooperate with FBI. Sergei found out about it, and his men killed him. Jessica, if what you're saying is true, so where is his body? Vincent, they might have disposed it. Vincent opens the drawer, grabs photos, and gives the photos to Jessica. Jessica, what's this? Vincent, photographs of your husband with Sergei Yuri in Sergei's yacht. They were taken 2 weeks prior to his disappearance. Jessica looks at the photos. Jessica, did you take these pictures? Vincent, no I didn't. Jessica, who took them? Vincent, I'm sorry. I can't share that information with anybody. Jessica, why not? Vincent, it's confidential. The photos were actually taken by FBI. They were cited in their computer. I paid a man, who is highly skilled at extracting information from computers. He got them illegally. Jessica, are you saying you paid a hacker to get these photos? Vincent, maybe. Jessica, just find my husband. If he's dead, bring me evidence. I need closure. It's for peace of mind. She gets up and leaves the office. Vincent gets up, grabs Jessica's file from the shelf, sits behind his desk, and looks at the file. We see more photos of Sergei and Dawson Stewart in a big luxurious boat. There is a knock at the door. Vincent, looking at the photos, come in. Lucy walks in. Lucy, this movie star wants to see you. Vivian Flores. She said she had appointment 10 a.m. Vincent, yeah. Let her in. Lucy exits the office. Vincent puts the file aside. Then at the entrance, Vivian, 31, walks in. Vivian, hi. Vincent, hi. Vincent gets up from his chair to greet her. They shake hands. Vincent, have a sit. She sits. Vincent sits on the edge of his desk. Vincent, how can I help you? Vivian, 15 days ago my sister Lolita Flores was murdered. The police asked me a couple of questions about her death. But it seemed they're not really interested in finding her killer. They're taking it lightly. I want you to find who killed her. Vincent, I don't usually take murder case. I'm a private investigator. I deal with missing people. Vivian, my father used to be a police officer. His name is Dylan Flores, a lieutenant at LAPD. He killed his partner, a narcotic detective, and 2 officers, a police lieutenant and a captain, and disappeared with $53 million drug money. Nobody knows where he is. I got a couple of death threats from Anonymous, so did she. They harassed us to tell them where he was hiding before I set the record on national TV. He had never contacted us. We had never heard a single word from him. He abandoned us like the devil when I was 16 and when she was 10. They stopped bothering us. Actually, she was my half-sister. But I saw her as my best friend. 2 weeks ago, she was found murdered along with Romeo. I don't believe the police has anything to do with her death. But they'll not take the case seriously. I want someone like you who has history of solving crime. I am told you were the best investigating journalist in New York City. I read your book Extreme Engineer, and how you exposed that famous case of illegal human genetic engineering experiment. I played a fictional version of your girlfriend Marta in the movie. Vincent, I saw it. You were amazing. Vivian, thanks. I'll triple whatever you're charging, and $4 million bonus if you find her killer. Gets up and takes out a check. Here, $500,000. It's advance payment. She gives him the check. Vivian, I'll see you. She kisses him on the cheek and leaves the office. Vincent sits behind his desk. There is a knock at the door. This time, the door opens without a warning. It's Lucy. Lucy, Emily wants to see you about the application. Vincent, send her here. Lucy lets Emily, 25, into Vincent's office. Vincent, hi. Emily, hi. Vincent, have seat. Emily sits at the table. Vincent, what's your real name? Emily or Emma? Emily, it's Emily. But I changed it to Emma. I thought it sounds cool. Then my boyfriend in college told me he likes Emily. Emma sounds like some old English name from Jane Austen novel. I then changed back to Emily. Vincent, Emily is a beautiful name. Emily, thanks. Vincent, so, do you know anything about private investigation? Emily, not really. But I'll figure it out. I have degree in journalism. Vincent, how old are you? Emily, I just turned 25 few days ago. Vincent, you're kind of young. Emily, it's the same age when you solved Illuminati murder case and exposed the secret society in 2008. Vincent, how did you find that out? Emily, I checked your background. Vincent, anyway. You can start today if you want to. I'll pay you $22 per hour. I just handed a major case. Did you hear about Romeo and his girlfriend Lolita's murder? Emily, yes. Vincent, the actress you might have seen leaving, Vivian Flores, is Lolita's half-sister. She hired us to find the killer. I was working on few cases. I might have to pass them to you. There is a pause. Vincent looks at Jessica's files. He closes the file. Vincent, never mind. It is a dead end. You can help me with Lolita's case. I want you to question every person she knows, her best friends, mother, father, etc. Ask them and give me the report at the end of the week. Vincent takes out $10,000 from his pocket. Vincent, here, take this money. You need it? $5,000 is advance payment. $5,000 use it to gather information. You know, if you have to bribe them, buy them lunch, take them out dinner, whatever it's. Emily, you want me to start today? Vincent, whenever you're ready. Do you have a car? Emily, yes, I do. Vincent, what's it? Emily, it's a 2002 Nissan sedan. Vincent, you don't want to drive that. It's too slow. I'll give you my other car. 2014 Lexus. It's been sitting in the parking garage for a while. Gets up, come on. Take a look at it. Emily gets up. Vincent and Emily exit the office. EXT Vincent's Private Investigation Inc. Day. Emily stands next to Vincent's Mercedes convertible. Vincent comes driving 2012 Lexus and parks it next to his car. He gets out of the car and gives the key to Emily. Vincent, just hold on it for a while. If you need camera, tape recorder, laptops, cell phone, anything, just ask Lucy, she'll tell you where they are. Vincent shakes her hand. Vincent, welcome to the best private investigation farm in the city of Los Angeles. We're planning to expand the business. We will move into a new building if we solve this case. Emily, pleased to meet you. Vincent, pleasure is mine. Vincent gets in his convertible, starts the car. Vincent, I will see you. Emily, bye. Vincent reverses out and drives away. Emily gets behind the wheel, starts the Lexus, reverses out, and drives away as well. Montage, Los Angeles. A quick take of the city of Los Angeles. Downtown Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign, Beverly Hills, the Kodak Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, Dodger Stadium, houses and buildings on the coastline of Pacific Ocean, millions of cars driving in the streets of Los Angeles and others. EXT Romeo and Lolita's crime scene, day. Vincent photographs the empty crime scene area. He then walks toward his car. There is a police officer who is in charge of securing the crime scene. Vincent takes out $300 and gives him the money. The cop takes the money and nods thanks. Vincent heads toward his car. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent comes to his car, gets behind the wheel, starts the car, and drives away. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. Montage. Restaurant. Vincent sits at a pub with his laptop and watches a music video of Lolita in YouTube. Club. Emily questions a girl named Amy, a friend of Lolita. Amy tells her what she knows. We don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. Emily takes a note. Film set. A director named Jonah is in the middle of shooting a movie. It's a similar take, a man shoots a wise guy, who looks like Romeo, and a young woman, who looks like Lolita, while they are making out in the car. Jonah says, cut. Jonah's mansion. Vincent questions Jonah at his multimillion-dollar house without a sound. Vincent shows him a picture of Lolita that's taken at a film set with Jonah. Meanwhile, Vincent wants to know how Johan wrote the story of Romeo and Lolita's death ahead of time, before they died. He tells him he was working on Romeo's story and just adds a new ending. Note. It will be scripted during filming if it's necessary. Strip club. It's an upscale strip club. Attractive female strippers dance exotic. Vincent questions an actor named Joshua. Vincent shows Joshua the photo of Lolita and him in his cell phone. Joshua chooses to talk. Gym. Emily questions Lolita's ex-boyfriend Andy, who is sitting on a bench press. He tells her what he knows. Film set, UCLA. Vincent questions a director named Luke at the set of Smooth Criminal. Vincent shows him Lolita's photo. The director tells him what he wants to hear. Beach, Vogue photo shoot. A photographer takes the photos of an actress named Kate in series shots. Cut to. Vincent questions Kate. She tells him what she knows. Fashion show. Models walks in the catwalk. Camera lights flash from every angle. Celebrities sit and watch the fashion show. Vincent sits in the first row and watch the models do their things. He has a photo of a girl named Elizabeth on his hand, looks at it. She comes to the fashion runway, walks down the catwalk, looks at Vincent, and does few poses. She gives Vincent a wink, turns around, and walks toward the backstage. Romantic restaurant. Vincent and Elizabeth sit at a table with glasses of red wines. He shows her the photo of her with Romeo. She tells him what she knows. Creative Artists Agency, Chris's office. Emily questions a talent agent named Chris. He doesn't want to talk. She shows Chris a photo Lolita with him kissing in her small laptop. He begins to talk. Italian restaurant. Vincent questions a young wise guy named Alessandro who is eating spaghetti and drinking red wine. Vincent shows him Lolita's photo. Alessandro tells him that he had never seen her before. Vincent shows the man a photo of him with a Chinese girl. It's extortion. Alessandro gives up and tells Vincent what he wants to hear. Italian fashion store. It's a big fashion store, the equivalent of Valentino. We see all kinds of glamorous female dresses, bras, underwear, shoes, sunglasses, jewelries, and others. Emily questions Benini, a fashion designer. Benini tells her what he knows. Italian festival. We see a big Italian-American gathering. All kinds of Italian food are prepared. People are enjoying their outings with their families and friends. They are a couple of attractive Italian-American girls talking, drinking wines, and eating all kinds of Italian cuisine, checking out men, smiling at wise guys, etc. The men are looking for the most appealing girls as well. Some wise guys are enjoying their outings. Vincent questions a wise guy named Alberto who is sitting at a table alone. He tells him what he knows. Classy Spanish club. We see people dancing with Spanish music. It's sexy and steamy. A girl named Lucia dances salsa with a young man named Ramirez. They are very good. A gangster named Thiago sits at a sofa in the VIP section and looks at them. 12 bodyguards stand nearby. Vincent sits at a table looking at a photo of Lucia and Romeo. Cut to. Vincent questions Lucia in the ladies' room. She tells him what she knows. Russian club. It's the same club that we saw at the beginning of the movie. We see people dancing with techno music like there is no tomorrow. Attractive Eastern European girls dance in the cages surrounded with fire. Some people are doing drugs, kiss of death. Some are kissing and making out in the club like Studio 54. Vincent questions a girl named Natasha at the quietest section of the club. He shows her the photo of Romeo that's taken at a restaurant with her. Chinese club. People dance with K-pop. Most of them are Asians. The club has bathtubs surrounded with candles. We see attractive Asian girls, Chinese gangsters, and regular rich Asian people sitting in the tubs with all kinds of alcohol beverages and drugs, making out, etc. Some of the girls are nude. Vincent sits in a bathtub with a sexy Asian girl named Zing. She is not wearing anything. They are making out with kisses. Vincent then shows her the photo of Romeo and her in his cell phone and asks her a question. She is not happy, gets up nude, exits the tub, and walks away. Black Lions Club. Even though a black club, we see diverse people, Caucasian, Latino, Asian, Africans, etc. They are dancing with hip-hop songs. Vincent questions a girl named Sonia, African American, in a VIP room. Vincent photographs Roberto Materazzi as he exits an Italian restaurant. Cut to, he photographs Cesar Materazzi as he talks to the manager at a fashion shop that he owns. Cut to, he photographs Andrew, Boris's bodyguard. Los Angeles Public Library. Vincent sits at a computer, checking the background of Cesar Materazzi, Roberto Materazzi. Carlos, Colombian drug lord. Rodriguez brothers, Mexico cartels, etc. Cathedral. Vincent questions Cassandra who is sitting at the third row. She tells him what she knows. Sarah's house, living room. Vincent questions Romeo's sister Sarah Rossitini who is sitting at the coffee table. She shows him Romeo's photo album since he was a baby. Vincent then sees a photo of Romeo with a girl who looks like Lolita. He fakes a stomach pain and tells her that he needs more cream in his coffee. Sarah gets up and goes to the kitchen to bring him cream. Vincent takes the picture from the album and puts it in his pocket. Sarah returns to the living room with half and pours the cream in Vincent's coffee. EXT ABC apartment building, night. An established shot of ABC apartment building in Wilshire Street. It's a 15-story building. We come to the top floor, Vincent's apartment. Int. ABC apartment building, Vincent's apartment, night. Vincent places all the suspects on his living room wall, Materazzi, Rodriguez brothers, Boris Yuri, Andrew, Carlos, LAPD officials, some of the directors that he questioned, etc. Vincent then sits at the table, looks at the photo of Lolita and the look-alike that he took from Sarah, and matches the pictures. They're two different persons. He notices the girl has a beauty mark on her cheek. And she has this mesmerizing look that hypnotizes a soul. Int. Joey bar, night. Vincent questions a wise guy named Jimmy, one of Romeo's bodyguards. He shows him the picture of Romeo and Lolita's looks alike. He tells him he doesn't know her. Vincent gives him $500. Jimmy talks without a sound. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, night. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles, talking on his cell phone. He then hangs up the cell phone and focuses on the street. We take it with overhead shot. Montage, Los Angeles. A quick take of the city of Los Angeles, night. Downtown Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign, Beverly Hills, the Kodak Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, Dodger Stadium, millions of cars driving in the streets of Los Angeles, houses and buildings on the coastline of Pacific Ocean and many more. ext Vanity Fair Club, night. An established shot of Vanity Fair Club. It's a club that's seductively built next to the Pacific Ocean. Vanity Fair is written on the top of the building. Vincent comes driving and parks his car at the parking lot. He gets out of the car and walks toward the club. Int. Vanity Fair Club, night. Natalie Scott, 25, sings on the stage. Sought a smooth operator. She looks like Lolita. Yet, she has an amazing sensual energy. They are two different persons. Vincent sits at a table watching her. Natalie looks at him while singing. She is attracted to him. Vincent can't take his eyes from her. Natalie gives him a soft beautiful smile and winks at him. She then finishes singing, comes to his table, and sits in front of him. Natalie, hi. Vincent, hi. Natalie, do I know you? Vincent, why don't you tell me? Natalie, what do you want? Vincent, nothing. Natalie, there has to be something that you want in life. Vincent, what make you think I want anything? Natalie, you were looking at me like you wanted to have sex with me. Vincent, is that a crime? Natalie, what do you think? Vincent, I think you are the most beautiful girl in the world. Natalie, thanks. Vincent, humorously, you welcome. Natalie, what do you do? Vincent, I'm a private investigator. Vincent gives her his card. She looks at it. Natalie, Vincent Marcel. Is that your real name? Vincent, yes. Natalie, it's cute. Vincent, thanks. Natalie, what are you doing here? Vincent, I came to watch you. Natalie, why? Vincent, I'm told I might find the missing beat of my heart. Natalie, who told you that? Vincent, the stars in the sky. I talked to them last night. They told me you're so beautiful. They used to come in daytime disguised as dandelions to fall in love with your eyes. Natalie, do you always talk to them? Vincent, every chance I get. I ask them all kinds of questions, like what's life all about? Is there life after death? What's the universe made of? Just above everything, and who's the fairest them all? They told me it's you. Natalie, are you here to ask me questions? Vincent, do you mind? Natalie, no, I don't. Vincent, where were you on April 22nd between 12:30 a.m. to 1:30? Natalie, I was with my boyfriend Richard. Vincent, what did you do? Natalie, we watched movie and had sex. Vincent, did you go anywhere that night? Natalie, no, I didn't. Vincent, someone saw you at Ralph's supermarket around 2:30 a.m. Natalie, I might have left to get wine or vodka. I don't remember. Vincent, they don't sell alcohol after 2 a.m. Natalie, I think I bought energy drink, Red Bull. I was thirsty. Vincent, I suppose you committed a sin and lost your wings. You wanted them back. Natalie, what does that mean? Vincent, it's a joke. Red Bull gives you wings. Natalie, I get the joke. Vincent, did Richard come with you? Natalie, no, he didn't it. I came alone. Vincent, if he's your boyfriend, why didn't he come with you? What if something happened to you? Natalie, do you care what happens to me? Vincent, I've never seen anything as beautiful as you. If I were him, I wouldn't have let you out of my sight. Natalie, Richard is not my boyfriend. I'm sexual by nature. Sometimes, when I'm in heat, I sleep over his house. We are friends with benefits. Vincent, did you return to his house? Natalie, no, I came straight to my house. Vincent, what did you do? Natalie, I took a bath, touched myself, had a quiet orgasm, and went to sleep. Vincent, you don't expect me to believe that, do you? Natalie, which part you don't believe me? Vincent, touching yourself. It doesn't add up. Natalie, what doesn't add up? Vincent, you said you just had sex with Richard. Natalie, so. Vincent, you tell me. Natalie, suppose he didn't give me orgasms. Vincent, you're sleeping with a man who doesn't give you orgasm. Natalie, that doesn't sound right, does it? He shakes his head no. Vincent, it sounds like he doesn't care about you at all. Natalie, he gives me orgasm. But I need more. I have already told you I'm sexual by nature. Vincent, how sexual are you? Natalie, I can keep going for hours. I am down for it. All kinds of sexual positions you could think of. Count me in. Are you up to the challenge? Vincent, are you seducing me? Natalie, What does your gut tell you? Vincent, it tells me you have beautiful eyes. Natalie, what about them? Vincent, they're like two lakes in the garden of eternity, filled with water lilies, 2 million of Juliet teardrops, whiskies, snowflakes, and fairy tales, and burst through the clouds, materialize on your face in some unexplained quantum phenomenon before they pierce my heart, till I am intoxicated with true love. My soul can't help but fly like a dove. Natalie, that's quite a compliment. I didn't know you were romantic. Vincent, I had my moment. There is a pause. She then. Natalie, you're handsome as well. Vincent, am I? Natalie, do you know what gives me orgasm? Vincent, what is it? Natalie, I will tell you during sex. Out of nowhere she produces her underwear and throws at him. He can't help but smile softly. He puts her underwear and places it in his pocket. Int. Natalie's house, living room, night. Vincent and Natalie are making out with kisses. They remove each other's clothes while kissing and caressing. Vincent then picks her up and takes her to the bedroom, while kissing intimately. Int. Natalie's house, bedroom, night. Vincent and Natalie make love. It's sensual, steamy, seductive, and passionate. We stay with them with series cuts as they go at it with various sexual positions. Int. Natalie's house, bedroom, later. Vincent and Natalie are out, lying on the bed. She is sleeping on his chest without a single drop of cloth. Vincent is awoken, seems to be thinking about something while running his fingers on her shoulder blade. He then slowly gets up in underwear, and walks toward the living room. Int. Natalie's house, living, night. Vincent goes through Natalie's stuff, looking for information. He finds photo albums and looks at the photographs. Most of the photos are Natalie's modeling snapshots, no close friend, no family, except male and female models. Vincent puts the album where he found it and grabs another album. It's the same thing, Natalie's modeling photos. He then sees some regular photos of Natalie in the beach. We don't know who took the photos. We see nude photos of Natalie in the beach, walking down shoreline, lying on the sands, kicking the water, swimming, etc. There are also photos of Natalie with some famous movie stars. Vincent then sees the photo of Natalie, Lolita, the dead girl, and a girl named Amanda. In the meantime, out of nowhere, Natalie appears at the living room like a ghost. She is wearing erotic blouse that barely covers anything. It shows her breasts and vagina. Natalie, hi. Vincent looks at her. He closes the album. Vincent, I was just looking at your photo albums. Vincent puts the album aside as she approaches him. Natalie, did you find anything you like? They exchange soft kisses. Vincent, you're photogenic. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, what's photogenic? Does that mean someone who looks attractive in photos but they look average in real life? Vincent, no. You are 1,000,000 times more beautiful in real life than you look in photographs. It only means no camera capture your supernatural beauty, and when they capture it, you are labeled as photogenic. Natalie, just shut up and kiss me. They kiss French. She removes her blouse and stands nude in front of him. They kiss more intimately. They go down on the floor, kissing. Vincent removes his underwear and throws it away. They kiss seductively. She spreads her legs alluringly. Vincent enters her deliciously as they begin to make love. Int. Natalie's house, bedroom, night. Vincent and Natalie make love. It's steamy, enchanting, and passionate. We stay with them for a bit. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles. He is talking to Lucy on his cell phone while looking at the photo of Natalie, Lolita, and Amanda. Int. Vincent's convertible, moving, /VPI Inc., day. Lucy talks to Vincent looking at information in her computer. Note, we do intercut. Vincent listens to what Lucy has to say. Then they both hang up their phones. We stay with Vincent. Vincent focuses on the road as he continues to drive. ext Amanda's house, day. An established shot of Amanda's house. It's a 2-bedroom house. Vincent comes driving and parks his car next to Amanda's house. He gets out of the car and walks toward the house. Int. Amanda's house, living room, day. Vincent and Amanda sit at the coffee table and talk. Vincent, you're the last person that she talked to that day. What did she tell you? Amanda, she didn't tell me anything. Vincent, I'm told there is no secret between you and her. She is your best friend. There is a silent moment. She looks at his eyes desirously. She then. Amanda, since you are cute. I'll tell you everything. But you have to buy me lunch. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. They continue to talk without a sound. ext Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent is behind the wheel. Amanda sits in the passenger seat. They are driving in the street of Los Angeles. Amanda is telling him a story. But we don't hear what she is saying due to the music on the soundtrack. Int. Bar and restaurant, day. It's a romantic bar and restaurant. Vincent and Amanda sit at a table and have glasses of scotch. Vincent, we're supposed to have lunch. Not whiskey. Amanda, it's not whiskey. It's scotch. They're two different things. Do you know that? Vincent, no. Amanda, scotch is whiskey. It spells whisky, without E. It's for whiskey made in Scotland. It tastes flawless. But whiskey, with EWHISKEY is for whiskies that are made anywhere in the world except in Scotland. Vincent, I see. Amanda, I am not alcoholic or anything. I have to lose 10 pounds in 4 days for this role I am going to audition. And there is nothing eat the fat in your body faster than scotch. Exercise by itself wouldn't do the trick. Vincent, I am not going to judge you. Amanda, anyway, Lolita told me Romeo is a freak. He was into S&M. But he also talked a lot. He used to tell her everything, like one time she told me how his gang stole cocaine from Colombians, and he ate her pussy with cocaine. Vincent, did she tell you about what Romeo was up to? Amanda, she didn't have to tell me anything. Romeo was fucking me too. He told me about LAPD corruption, how he would love to turn them to internal affair, and kill all the drug dealers and terrorists. Maybe, someday how he would turn all mob-related enterprises to the government, run for president, and straighten up this county for good. Of course, he was joking. He was an actor, pretending to be something he was not. But he told me he didn't give a fuck about anything. If he wanted something, he would just take it. Vincent, what about did he tell you who might want him dead? Amanda, everybody wanted him dead. That is not a secret. I wanted him dead. He treated me like a whore. Vincent takes out the photo of Natalie and shows her the picture. Vincent, do you know this girl? Amanda, that's Natalie. I met her through Lolita. Vincent, did he say anything about her? Amanda, he was madly in love with her. They were engaged secretly. He told me how he had to change. He wanted to spend the rest of his life with her in Florence. He was planning to take a drawing class, so he would paint her portrait each day till the day he died. I remember I was feeling jealous. I would have done anything to make a man love me like that. Vincent places $200 on the table and gets up. Vincent, thanks for everything. Just take it easy on that scotch. No role is worth if they take away even half pound from your delightful body. Amanda, I think I can offer to lose few pounds. It's a dream role. Vincent, you will get all kinds of roles without losing a single weight. The gods will come to your house, crawling with their knees to worship you. Don't let Hollywood tell you what to do. You're one of the prettiest girls I've ever met in my life. Amanda, thanks. Vincent, take care. Amanda, I would love to sit and have dinner with you. Vincent, I will give you a call. Amanda, you have my number. Vincent, yes, I do. Amanda, give me your card. I will give you a call just in case I lost my heart. I will hire you to find it. He smiles softly and gives her his card. Vincent, have a nice day. Amanda, bye. Vincent walks away. Amanda checks her belly. She gets flat belly, just little bit fat, and looks at her scotch. Amanda, talking to herself last one. I swear I will exercise, perhaps do yoga. Fuck yoga. It doesn't burn zero fucking fat. Maybe, I will run on a treadmill for 30 minutes, escape lunch and had a glass of margarita. Change the tone of her voice. I can't believe what you're telling me. Why can't you want me to be happy? Amanda looks at the scotch and tips the glass with her fingers. The liquor spills. The glass rolls down the table and crashes on the floor. She doesn't even blink her eyes. Amanda, smiling to herself, that's what I call acting. Robert De Niro has nothing on me. Int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles. Int. LAPD police station headquarters, day. An established shot of Los Angeles Police Department. Vincent comes driving, parks his car at the parking lot, gets out of the car, and walks toward the building. Int. LAPD police station headquarters, Alicia's desk, day. Vincent sits at Alicia's desk. Alicia comes to her desk, carrying coffee. She sees him. Alicia, you know you're not supposed to be within 100 feet of me. She sits at her desk. Vincent, what did I do? Alicia, you fucked me till I fell in a coma, and left a note that says it was the best sex of your life. But you had to go, didn't want to wake me up. But you made me breakfast. You love me. Vincent, so, I lied a little. I meant I love you more than life itself. Is that a crime? Alicia, no, it's not a crime. I told myself next time I see you, I would shoot you in the heart and get even with you. Vincent, that's my most sensitive part of my body. Alicia, I thought your dick was the most sensitive part of your body. Vincent, humorously they're interconnected, like some kind of quantum entanglement. Don't ask me what that is. Alicia, I won't ask you unless you have something against me. Vincent, no, I don't. Alicia, I don't believe you. Vincent, you're not mad at me, are you? Alicia, why should I be mad at you? When you wanted sex, you came to me. When I needed sex, I went to you. Our relationship was restrictively based on sex. You didn't give a fuck about my feeling, but I started developing that emotion for you. Vincent, what emotion are you talking about? Alicia, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure it out, do you? Vincent, don't tell me you were falling for me. Alicia, is that hard to believe? You don't think of yourself worthy of making a girl fall head over heels in love with you. Vincent, maybe. But I never thought I would ever get you in this lifetime. Alicia, are you a bad liar or is that the story of my life? You know, I might act tough once in a while. But I'm as soft as a butterfly. I don't sleep around because of sex, how it feels and all. I sleep with you, because I'm emotionally connected with you. I like you. All I do is sit and fantasize about kissing you. And nothing makes me happier than seeing your eyes. Vincent, playing along. Thanks. That means a lot to my confidence. Alicia, you welcome. But don't take it personal. I am only borrowing few tricks from your black book. Vincent, what does your boyfriend has to say about that? Alicia, Brad doesn't really mind. He thinks my feeling is my business. Maybe someday he would make me fall in love with him. Vincent, where's he? Alicia, he's out of town. He just went to Texas a couple of days ago. Vincent, for business or pleasure? Alicia, family. He has to look after his father. Vincent, anyway, I came to ask you where you're heading with the case. Romeo and Lolita. Alicia, why are you interested in that? Vincent, someone hired me to find the killer. Alicia, who is it? Vincent, I'm not supposed to tell the identity of the person. It's confidential. Alicia, if you don't tell me who hired you, how are you going to expect me to share any information with you? Vincent, all right. I'll tell you. But it's between you and me. Promise to keep it quiet. Alicia makes a zip sign across her lips. Vincent, it's Lolita's sister. The actress Vivian Flores. Alicia, I suspected that. Their father killed the capital of LAPD and two highly decorated lieutenants, took $53 million and disappeared from face of the earth. Vincent, she thought you wouldn't take the case seriously. She hired me to find the killer. Alicia, then do what? Vincent, I don't think that far into the future. That is her business. Alicia, her father might not be a saint. But that doesn't mean we won't go out and do our jobs. We take murder seriously. You know me. I don't hold anything, even if the victim were Donald fucking Trump, and the killer is Arnold Schwarzenegger who might have come from the future with time machine, and murdered him to amuse himself. Vincent, my client doesn't know that. That's why she hired me. So, help me. I'll help you. Let's share information. Alicia, that won't be fair. Vincent, what's not fair? Alicia, we're talking about LAPD homicide, the best in the nation. We have forensic technicians that know what they're doing. Crime scene investigators, morgue experts, autopsy reports, so on. We can go to any place anytime and ask questions. If they lie to us, we'll bring them to the interrogation room and sweat their asses. They'll tell us if they saw their mother naked, or they sold their soul to the devil and eat asses. You get the point, don't you? Vincent, this is a serious crime. Alicia, we take all crime seriously. Vincent, but this is as serious as it gets. You're not dealing with average Joe. You're dealing with people in this building, Department of Narcotics. SWAT, forget about DEA, don't even mention Italian mobs, Mexican cartels, Colombians drug lords. Russian mafias. Just look behind your desk. The captain and the chef of LAPD. They're all in this. Alicia, I was about to say you were getting my attention. But I know you, Vincent. You would say anything, even accuse Jesus Christ sleeping with Mary Magdalena if Illuminate pays you to find Christ's missing bloodline. Vincent, you're not going nowhere without my help. You can bring a wise guy to interrogation room. He would tell you he wouldn't talk to you without his lawyer. Besides, they have this Omerta code of silence, never talk to the authorities. Later they go to the mattresses. Alicia, what's mattresses? Vincent, when mobs go into battle. More people would turn out dead like fish. Things would get ugly. You would lose the grasp of reality just like that. So, let me save you the trouble before things get out of control. You're not only dealing with Luciano Rossitini. But you also have Materzi crime family that Romeo went war with. You have the Russian mafias that Romeo pissed off with the new drug kiss of death. Rodriguez brothers who are in cocaine trafficking business, the Chinese and their golden triangle heron connection that Romeo took away. The list goes on. We can sit and talk about them all day. But you have to let me see your file. It's a little detail that solves crime. I have a puzzle that puts the whole pieces together. Alicia, what's it? Vincent, first, you have to promise me to share whatever you have. Alicia, you know me better than anybody, Vincent. I will promise you anything. Then I will tell you to go fuck yourself. Vincent, okay, forget it. Alicia, I'm dealing with murder here. It's a mess. Whatever it's, just spit it out. If I think the information is valuable, I will make a deal with you. Vincent, you might have heard them saying, one person can make a difference. Alicia, don't tell me that's your motto. Vincent, it's not my motto. I don't even know who said it. That's why we need to work together. Just maybe if one person makes a difference, a little evidence will make a difference as well. Like suppose the president of Russia has an affair with Miss Beijing. But who care? He has a thing for Asian cats. Who doesn't? The world can live with it. But suppose she is a spy. She slept with him, so she could come to Moscow, steal Russian nuclear secret, and blow up USA. You get my point, don't you? Alicia, is that a true story, Or did you just made it up to get your point across? Vincent, I made it up. But guess if I make this story up. LAPD are under Rossatini crime family payroll. They were working for Romeo at time of his death. Alicia, did you talk to Rossatini crime family's bookkeeper? Vincent, I don't have to. It's not secret. The whole town knows about it. All the cocaine and heroines in the street, all the LCD methamphetamine, ecstasy, PCP, kiss of death in clubs. Romeo hijacked hundreds of cargoes and pharmaceutical products, killed rival gangsters, sold billions of dollars worth of heroin and cocaine. Let not even talk about all witnesses, district attorneys and judges, and their friends and families that disappeared without a trace. Romeo ruled Los Angeles. Later, LAPD grew conscious and decided to play it to the bones. You know what I mean. They might have killed him to take his operation like LA Confidential that we watched together. Alicia, you have balls sitting at LAPD headquarters and accusing the department. That's a serious allegation. Vincent, maybe. Looks around, I would say anything, even accuse Jesus Christ sleeping with Mary Magdalena if Illuminate pays me to find their missing daughter. Alicia, do you have proof? Vincent, if you give me time, I will get you all the proofs you need. But at this particular moment, I am interested in solving Lolita Flores' killer. That's what I'm paid to do. There is a silent moment. She looks deep into his eyes. She then. Alicia, I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Take me to your apartment. Let's have sex. If your performance is better than any sex we've had previously, I'll share all the information I have. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, night. Vincent and Alicia burst into the screen, kissing passionately. Alicia removes Vincent's cloth fanatically. Vincent unbuttons her shirt seductively. They kiss more intimately. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. Int. Vincent's apartment, bedroom, night. Alicia and Vincent make love. It's alluring, steamy, and passionate. We stay with them with series cuts as they go at it with various erotic positions. Int. Vincent's apartment, night. Vincent and Alicia are lying on the bed. He is smoking cigarette. She rests on his arm nude. It seems she might never wake up. Vincent slowly pulls his arm, gets up without waking up Alicia, shirtless, and walks to the living room. Living room/kitchen. Vincent walks down the living room, goes to the kitchen, opens the refrigerator, grabs a can of Coke, and comes to the living room. Vincent looks at the photos of the suspects on the wall. He then looks at the photo of Natalie. He removes it from the wall, sits at the table, and continues to look at her with tenderness. On the soundtrack, music continues to play. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room/kitchen, morning. Vincent makes a breakfast at the kitchen, scrambled eggs. Alicia looks at the photos of the suspects on the wall, at the living room, while sipping Diet Coke from a can. She is wearing Vincent's shirt and red Victoria's Secret underwear. She looks seductive. Vincent finishes making the scrambled eggs, places it in a plate, comes to the living room, and puts it on the table. Vincent, breakfast is ready. Alicia, I'm not hungry. Vincent, you have to replace the calories that you burnt last night. You shook me like a girl who just got out of a mental institution in probation. It could be oblivion. She forgot her medication, because she has suffered from amnesia and took it out on a man who has nothing to lose. Or she is just crazy. She can't help but smile softly. Alicia, she is just crazy. They exchange soft juicy French kiss. Vincent, you should eat something. Alicia, I will just have cereal. Vincent, what kind of cereal? Vincent goes to the kitchen and opens the top drawer, revealing all kinds of cereals. Vincent, I have Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cheerios, Corn Flakes, Kellogg's Raisin Bran, and Fruit Loops. Alicia, Raisin Bran. Vincent grabs Raisin Bran, places the cereal in the bowl, takes milk from the refrigerator, and pours it on the cereal. Vincent grabs a spoon, places it in the bowl, comes to the living room, and gives the cereal to Alicia, who continues to look at the suspects on Vincent's wall. Alicia has a spoon of cereal. Vincent, don't you want to sit? Alicia, I'll stand and eat. You have interesting pictures here. Points at pictures. This is Roberto Matorras, the Don of Matorras crime family. That's his son. Cesar Matorras. That night, Romeo and Cesar fight appeared to be a dispute over Romeo's ex-girlfriend Cassandra, whom he put in the trunk. Puts the cereal on the table. But there was a bad blood between them dating back to their crime families. Some kind of godfather thing. Roberto Matorras didn't want to be involved in lucrative drug trafficking rackets. He thinks it's bad karma. They might have watched too much Francis Ford Coppola's Godfather, wanted to keep it clean. You know, gambling, money laundering, racketeers, pieces of the action from computer software companies in Silicon Valley, running casinos in Vegas, and hijack pharmaceutical products. Rossatini crime family are like the Tattaglias. They're ruthless. They know the money is in cocaine and heroin. They quickly skyrocketed to the top of the food chain and controlled the Commission and Cosa Nostra in Italy. Yet, they attracted the federal government. FBI arrested Luciano Rossatini for income tax violation and brought down his entire crime family to their knees. That's just the beginning of the story. Little Romeo grew up fast and picked up where his father had left off. He became just as nasty as his father, killed people for looking at him. He murdered judges, lawyers, cops, and their families. He terrorized New York City, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, wherever he set foot, people died. LAPD might have something to do with it here in Los Angeles. But I can't prove it. Like how they killed Sonny Shark Chris Cito, the Don of Tardelli crime family. They cut him into pieces and fed him to sharks. However, that's a different story. Humorously, besides, we can't pull every shark in the Pacific Ocean, open their guts, and collect the pieces. We can only do that if someone kills Sandra Bullock. Then we'll drop nuclear bomb in the Pacific Ocean, kill every fish and shark that live under the water, open their guts, and put the pieces together. Hopefully, we'll find Keanu Reeves's DNA in her fingernails. She wouldn't go out without a fight. He smiles softly. Vincent, keep going. I am listening. Vincent sits at the table. Alicia, I can watch Speed and The Lake House back to back whenever I feel lost. Anyway, Romeo went to war with Materzi crime family, who continue to believe drug is bad. Not only does it attract the federal government, but it's also a sin against God. It was massacre both side. Then Luciano Rossatini got out of prison after serving 10 years in a federal prison. They decided to make peace. The commission agreed to keep drug out of New York City, Chicago, and KC. The rest is fair game. Los Angeles remained Rossatini crime family stronghold. Romeo didn't waste no time. He eliminated all his comparators and continued to distribute cocaine and heroin all 50 states the exception of those 3 cities. But Cesar knew Romeo was getting larger than life, and would come after them. He jumped into drug trade secretly without his father's approval. That night, they didn't fight because of the girl. Romeo found out that Cesar was not only selling drugs in New York City, Chicago, and KC and framing it on Romeo. However, he also brought his business to Los Angeles and moved into Romeo's turf, making deal with LAPD and DEA. Int. Cesari's restaurant, day. Flashback. Cesar sits at a table. The restaurant is empty. Alicia questions him. Alicia, you said you were treated by a doctor? Cesar, family doctor. Alicia, can you give me a name and an address of the person who treated you? Cesar, he's a ghost. He just appears out of thin air. If you have cuts, headache, or a bullet in your belly, he would give you penicillin, stitch your cuts, pull the bullet out of your gut, and leaves quietly. No name. No address. Alicia, where were you that night between 12:30 a.m. to 1:30? Cesar, I've already told them. I was at my ex-wife's house, nursing my injury. Alicia, your ex said you left the house around 12 a.m. Cesar, that's why she is my ex. She can't shut up her mouth. Suppose if I wanted to kill him, she would have handed me on a silver plate. Alicia, where did you go after you left the house? Cesar, I went for a drive. Alicia, where? Cesar, just around Los Angeles without stopping. Maybe for gas and some snacks. Alicia, that's not what I heard. Cesar, what did you hear? Alicia, you were seen at Joey's bar around 1:45 a.m. Cesar, who told you that? Alicia, it doesn't matter. There is a silent moment. He then. Cesar, I'll tell you the truth. Int. Jasmine's house, bedroom, night. Flashback. Cesar lies on the bed nursing his injury. He is patched up inexpertly. His ex-wife Jasmine, 36, brings him a water and 2 aspirin. Cesar gets up, takes the pills, and downs them with water. Cesar, voiceover I was mad as hell. He cut my eye and broke my nose. I felt soulless as if someone chopped my balls and fed to a dog. They took me to my ex's house. She lives 5 minutes from the club, nursed me. Then family doctor showed up and patched me up nicely. A mob Dr. Bruck comes to the bedroom and looks at Cesari's injuries. Int. Jasmine's house, bedroom, later. Dr. Bruck stitches the cut on Cesari's eye. Int. Jasmine's house, bedroom, later. Dr. Bruck gives Cesar a stronger medicine. Jasmine stands with a glass of water. Cesar places the medicine in his mouth. Jasmine gives him the water. He downs the pill with water. Dr. Bruck tells Cesar to rest. Cesar lies on the bed. Dr. Bruck tells him something and leaves. Jasmine kisses Cesar on the lips softly. She tells him she loves him and leaves as well. Cesar, voiceover he gave me a medicine and told me not to go anywhere, wanted me to rest for a while. But I felt I just couldn't live with myself if I lie there and do nothing about it. I got up and drove around, looking for him. EXT/int. Cesari's convertible, moving, night. Cesar drives in the street of Los Angeles. He then makes a call with his cell phone, and talks without a sound as he continues to drive down the road. EXT Los Angeles seaside, night. Cesar comes driving at the seaside and parks his car. He turns his eyes and sees Romeo and Lolita making out with kisses. Cesar, voiceover I saw them kissing in the car. I wanted to kill him. Probably, I would have never touched that angel. I don't have the heart to kill women and kids. Cesar opens the compact glove, grabs his gun, and gets out of the car. He then sees a shooting star on the sky. Simultaneously, his cell phone rings in his pocket. He takes out his cell phone and look at the caller ID. Cesar, voiceover but a freak accident happened. I saw a shooting star flying across the sky. At the same time, my 10 years daughter called me. I knew it was a sign for higher power. I felt the Holy Spirit in my rib bones. I don't know how to describe it. This forgiveness that I can't explain entered my soul. It was like Saul seeing Jesus right before he went blind. I didn't even pick up the phone, just got back in my car and drove away. Cesar turns off the phone, gets back in his car, and drives away. Cesar, voiceover: I came to Joey Bar and ordered Casa Noble. Int. Joey Bar, night. Cesar sits at a table and drinks a glass of Casa Noble. Cesar, voiceover: the next day, I heard someone killed Romeo. I knew cops or feds would question me. Int. Cesari's restaurant, day. Flashback. Back to Alicia and Cesar. Cesar, I just told them I was at my ex-wife's house. If you think I did it, do your homework and prove it. I'm innocent. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, day. Present. Back to Vincent and Alicia. Vincent, so, you're saying Cesar might be innocent? Alicia, I wouldn't go far and say he's innocent. He might be telling the truth. We checked his phone recorded. He did receive a phone call from his daughter. Plus, I saw the same shooting star that night. But I doubt it if I encountered any divine intervention. I thought about you. That doesn't count as divine intervention, does it? Vincent, humorously: maybe. Alicia, but the thing is I always think about you. Perhaps, I should acknowledge it as divine intervention, regardless of shooting star. Vincent, humorously: I'm told I have that kind of effect on girls. I don't know how many of them have thought of me and acknowledged it as divine intervention. But when they reach their climax, they think I'm God. Alicia, I know you're a dog. Vincent, do you know when dog spell backward, it's God? Alicia, don't tell me you went to college to figure that out. Vincent, I just wanted to remind you simple things that we take for granted keeps the flow of life. Only God knows why he created a man from dust, a woman from his rib, and told them not to eat from the knowledge of good and evil. Alicia, he didn't create a dog, did he? Vincent, he might have. I don't know. I'll question him. But I read this article in the Nature Animals online. Female dogs are the masters of manipulating sexual interaction. They have a very effective way of holding on to their partners. They have enormous muscles inside their vaginas that grasp the male dog's penis during sexual intercourse, which guarantees that the male dog is not leaving anywhere until his sperm fertilizes the female's egg. This interlocking of genitals can last up to 30 minutes. Meanwhile, the female dog typically ignores the fact that a male dog's penis is inside her vagina. She would go about her normal routine, eats, sleeps, play, and walks around while a male is hazardously being pulled behind her like a fool. Alicia, I wish I had muscle inside my vagina. I would have locked your penis inside my vagina and go to work, solve murder cases. Vincent, am I going to be pulled behind or in the front? Alicia, you are a dog. I would let you hit it behind and then cuff your dick with my vagina. Vincent, are you going to let me put on some clothes? I don't want to catch pneumonia. Alicia, it's summer. The weather is beautiful here in South California. You won't catch anything. Vincent, would you let me go after I come inside? Alicia, it depends on my mood. I don't usually run into dogs who are ripped like you to impress the opposite sex. Vincent, I'm not that ripped. I just do a little bit push up to keep the flow of blood in my heart. You women barely dress anything and rise the temperature in our hearts. Alicia, if you say so. But I'm not the one who pinched a nerve in the lower back after 7,500 clapping push-ups in 3 hours and cried for 2 months with an excruciating pain in the left leg. Vincent, I thought I had a lot to prove, break my own personal record, maybe get in World Guinness Book of Records, humorously, and leave a lasting legacy whenever I find myself naked with a beautiful girl like you. Alicia, I feel you. Referring to the photos. Anyway, let's move to Philip Knight, also known as King, the leader of Black Lions, and his eldest son Prince Knight, a mixed martial artist. Prince was at the party that night. He saw Romeo beat Cesar. It reminded him his kid brother Cato. You see, Romeo beat Cato, Prince's younger brother, till he fell into coma. Cato was diluting Romeo's heroin and selling them in the street with a cheaper price. But King refused to retaliate. He knew that he couldn't offer to go war with Rossatini crime family. He had other worries. All Latino gangsters in Los Angeles wanted him dead. He had to make peace with Luciano Rossatini, who was backing the Black Lions secretly. Besides, King knew that Cato was diluting Romeo's heroin and selling them in the street without his approval. Both King and Luciano Rossatini acknowledged their mistakes and make peace. Luciano paid King undisclosed amount of money, so King wouldn't seek revenge against Romeo. But Prince is a different story. Montage, flashback. Boxing ring. We see Prince and Cato training mixed martial art. They are going at it, punching, blocking, kicking, etc. Street. Cato and an attractive Latino girl named walk down the sidewalk in African American and Latino neighborhood. 2 of his boys, bodyguards, follow him behind. Then Romeo comes driving his convertible with his 2 bodyguards and cuts him off. Cato is caught by surprise. His boys go after their guns. But 2 undercover cops, who happen to be in the area, point their guns at them. Another undercover cop points a gun at Cato's head and shows him his badge. Cato tells them to be cool. He got the situation under control. Romeo gets out of the car, approaches Kato, and spits on Kato's face. Kato thinks about standing up to Romeo. But the cops and Romeo's bodyguards point their guns at him. He knows they are looking for a reason to shoot him. Then the undercover cop hits Kato in the back of his head with the gun. Kato goes down. Romeo kicks his head. Blood comes out of Kato's nose. Romeo then gets down and punches his face pitilessly, till his face turns into pulp. Everybody looks away. Romeo finally stops. They think he's done. But Romeo steps on Kato's head several times like Robert De Niro in The Goodfellas. Hospital. We see Kato lying in coma. Alicia, voice over: it was the perfect opportunity to avenge his little brother and get away with it. Int. Prince Marital Arts Center, Day. Alicia questions Prince near the boxing ring. Prince tells everybody to evacuate. They all leave. He puts 2 chairs in the middle of the ring. Alicia jumps inside the ring. They both sit, face to face. He is drawn to her like a magnet. She kind of likes his muscles. Prince is wearing tank tops and cut like most mixed martial art fighters. Alicia, where were you that night between 12:30 a.m. to 1:30? Prince, I was at home with my girlfriend watching porn. Alicia, do you always watch porn? Prince, we usually make porn. She likes to collect sex tapes. She is freak. Alicia, let me guess, but that night you just decided to watch instead of making video, cause something was bothering you. Prince, I fucked her but she forgot to record it. You know, she was screaming like a wounded cat. The video would have proved that I was innocent. But it is sad, the one time she forgot to record it, someone turned up dead. And the cops are trying to blame it on me. Alicia, nonetheless, suppose you fucked her and left to get weed to clear your mind and settle a score with someone that put your kid brother into coma. Prince, I don't smoke weed. Alicia, she said that you might have left to get marijuana. But I'm told weed doesn't do it for you anymore. That's not true, is it? Prince, weed makes you lazy. Alicia, it relaxes me. I like it. It helps me clear up a problem that I have with someone who has my number. Prince, I don't have time to relax. I'm a very busy person, as you see. I live, eat, breathe, and sweat intensity. I'm a fighter. I watched a documentary about Bruce Lee. They found weed in his system at the time of his death. I thought he was weak. Why he wanted to fuck around with that shit? Someone like Bruce Lee should be drinking human blood, eat Komodo dragon, smoke tiger's heart, turn a lion teeth and bones into powder, snore it, and be at peace with his soul. Alicia, you don't smoke ganja but you love cocaine. Am I right? Prince, I don't want to incriminate myself. Alicia, someone can say he loves pussy. But it doesn't mean he eats pussy. Prince, I like you, detective. You have this porn star look that turns a man into a gladiator. I would love to watch you getting fucked by 5 niggers and coming on your XXX rated face. Alicia, you like to watch, don't you? Prince, no, I would prefer fucking you myself in this ring at this particular moment and come on your lips. No offense. I'm just open to sexuality. No girl has ever given me a hard-on with her sense of presence. You are sexy like a virtual reality porn star. Alicia, none taken. You're quiet, Randy. I get turned on by lewd things like that. I've always wanted to be a porn star. I watched it every chance I get. It excites me. But tell me, where did you go that night? Your girlfriend said you left the house around 11:45 a.m. and you never returned. Prince, can I trust you? Alicia, anytime. Prince, everybody knows Romeo put my little brother Kato into coma. But I understand it was business. Flashback. Int. Sunset Tower, party, night. Prince sits at a table with 4 white girls and watches Romeo beating Cesar. We see it from Prince's point of view. Prince, voice over: that night, I was at the party. I saw Romeo beating Cesar heartlessly. I wanted to bury a bullet in the back of his head, not like I give a fuck about the other Guido. He is a piece of shit too. But I saw the devil in flesh and blood, and felt, Romeo must die. However, I would have to be stupid if I killed him after the incident. Int. Prince Marital Arts Center, Day. Back to Alicia and Prince. Prince, I'm a self-educated man. I don't like this black and white talk. It's 2017. I have fucked 10 young gorgeous white girls in one night. They sucked my dick like a lollipop. I pissed on their asses while fucking them in the buttholes. I came on their tits and did whole lot of things. But you can't help yourself expressing your point of view in black and white regardless of the impact race has in this country. Even though, my skin is dark. I think like a Caucasian. Ironically, if you ask me how a Caucasian think, I would say he thinks like Will Smith for the sake of making point. Int. Sunset Tower, night. Romeo just finishes beating Cesar. There is a chaos. Cops are moving. Prince gets up. Prince, voice over: what would Will Smith do in that situation? He would get up and leave. Prince tells the girls it's time to leave. They walk toward the exit. Prince takes out his cell phone, makes a call, and talks as he exits. Int. Hospital, Kato's room, night. Kato remains in coma. Prince visits his brother. Prince, that night, I visited my brother at the hospital. Int. Prince's palace, bedroom, night. Prince and a beautiful Latino girl have a pornographic sex. Prince, voiceover I came to my house. I have the sexiest girlfriend in the world. I might have taken my frustration out on her. I fucked her till her pussy was sore, and came on her face. I did some cocaine to calm my nerve and left the house. Int. Prince's palace, living room, night. Prince, who is still nude, does 3 lines of cocaine, and walks toward the camera. With nice camera work, we come to Prince's underground sex house. Int. Vice erotic house, night. Prince walks down his underground sex house. We see all kinds of erotic activity right and left. Prince, voiceover came to my underground erotic club that I own and spent the night making sure things were going smooth. Prince continues to walk down the building, looking at all kinds of S&M sex and bizarre sexual activities. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, day. Present. Back to, Alicia and Vincent. Vincent, he might have left the house around 11:45 p.m. He tracked them down and killed them, before he went to his sex house. Flashback. EXT Seaside Los Angeles, night. Romeo and Lolita make out in the car. Prince approaches them with a gun, shoots, and kills them. He turns around and walks away. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, night. Back to, Alicia and Vincent. Alicia, I doubt it. There is a videotape of him having sex with 4 Asian girls at Vice Erotic House that he owns starting at 1 a.m. He showed it to me. Vincent, humorously, that's something. Alicia looks at the photo of Carlos on the wall. Alicia, who's that? It's Vincent's turn to explain. Vincent, that's Carlos. A Colombian drug lord. Romeo made a lot of enemies. Carlos brought cocaine hidden inside sugar and packed with plastic bags and cartons, straight through lakhs worth about $82 millions. Romeo's men intercepted it in the street, pretending to be SWAT. Flashback. EXT Los Angeles Street, day. A truck, driven by 2 men and containing cocaine, moves in the street of Los Angeles. 2 GMC SUVs are following the truck from a fair distance. Then comes a motorcycle flying, passes the truck, and stops few meters ahead of the truck. The motorcyclist takes out a machine gun and fires at the truck. The truck slows down. A big truck comes out of nowhere and cuts the cocaine truck. The cocaine truck stops just in time to avoid collision. The 2 GMC SUVs that were following the truck stop as well. Then 5 black Mercedes SUVs come driving and stop nearby. 10 mercenaries, wearing SWAT uniforms, get out of the Mercedes SUVs with machine guns. They fire and kill the 4 men in the 2 GMC cars. They shoot the 2 men in the truck as well. They remove the dead bodies from the cocaine truck, take the truck, and leave. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, day. Back to, Vincent and Alicia. Vincent, Romeo didn't waste time. He sold the drug in a heartbeat and made millions. CIA talked to few informants and told Carlos how it went down. Carlos met with Romeo. He showed him the video of his entire family and severed bodies of his mafia associates and their families. Carlos didn't know Romeo was the Prince of Darkness. He didn't give a fuck about anything. Romeo was willing to go war with the Colombian government, but everybody has a soft spot. Carlos then showed him a photo of Lolita. Romeo agreed to return the money. However, Carlos wanted more. He asked Romeo to do business with him. But Romeo double-crossed him and went business with Rodriguez brothers. Who know? Carlos might have sent a hitman and got him killed like Scarface. Flashback. EXT Los Angeles Seaside, night. Romeo and Lolita make out in Romeo's car. Valencia, Carlos's hitman, comes to the car. He shoots and kills them with a silencer. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, day. Back to, Vincent and Alicia. Alicia, how did you know that? Vincent, it is only intuition. Alicia, that doesn't help me. I need evidence that we could use in the court. Vincent, you have to go to Colombia and hope that Carlos confesses. Alicia looks at Natalie. Alicia, who's that? Vincent, nobody. Vincent removes the picture from the wall. Alicia, what do you have her in the middle of all these cutthroat criminals? Vincent, it's for motivation. Alicia, let me see the picture. Vincent gives her the picture. Alicia, she looks like Lolita. What's her name? Vincent, Natalie Scott. Alicia, what does she do? Vincent, she doesn't do anything. Alicia, are you hiding something? Vincent, no, I'm not. She's just a singer at Vanity Fair Club. Alicia, is there anything going on between you and her? Vincent, not really. There is a pause. She looks at the picture. She then. Alicia, did you sleep with her? Vincent, is that a sin? Alicia, no. She's gorgeous. I'm happy for you. She gives him the picture. Alicia, what's her crime? Vincent, nothing. Alicia, I don't believe you. Vincent, humorously, that's your problem. She looks at photos on the wall. She points at Boris. Alicia, who that? Vincent, that's Boris Yuri. That night, at Red Star Club, Romeo shot Andrew in the ear for some unknown reason. He's Boris' bodyguard. Points at Andrew's photo, they might have followed him and killed him. Alicia, where did you get your facts? Vincent, people talk when bad things happen. Besides, look at his ear. It's covered with a new medical bandage. Alicia, anyway, you have the chief of LAPD and the capital and couple of familiar faces in the department. What did they do? Vincent, actually, LAPD is running the show. Alicia, internal affair won't let us breathe, even if they smell weed on our clothes. They'll rip us apart. I am talking behalf of the department. Vincent, that's not the word in the street. Alicia, what's the word in the street? Vincent, LAPD are killing all the drug dealers in Los Angeles, taking their drug operations and putting puppets, fake drug dealers. They wiped out all the Latino and Mexican gangsters in East LA. They took care of the bosses of Romanian and Hungarian drug traffickers and gun runners. They killed 5 Ukrainian meth dealers in North Hollywood. We can always talk about LAPD. But before that. Points at the Rodriguez brothers. Romeo used to get shipment from the Rodriguez brothers, one of the most notorious Mexican cartels. But Romeo double-crossed them and brought drugs from Manuel, Rodriguez brothers' arch-rival. Later, Manuel was arrested by Mexican government and drug enforcement agents that work for the Rodriguez brothers, which left Romeo with empty hands. He had no supplies, returned to the Rodriguez brothers. They agreed to do business with him. All they cared about was making money. Nothing is personal. And everything is business. Then Cesar came to the picture, wanted to get into dope business. The Rodriguez brothers took this opportunity to get even with Romeo, despite the fact business comes first bullshit. They sold him tons of cocaine half prices and fucked Romeo big time. Romeo found himself in a hole. Yet the Rodriguez brothers would cancel the debt to not if Romeo used his connection to get Santiago out of prison, one of their cousins, who was held in Los Angeles County Prison for drug trafficking and murder. Romeo used his LAPD connection. The next day, Santiago's cell was found empty. He escaped like a bird. Of course, only if you call walking through the front door dressing like a police officer is same as escaping. Alicia, I heard about it. But LAPD had nothing to do with it. Vincent, if you want to play blind, you have the right to close your eyes and tell yourself see no evil. Hear no evil. Speak no evil. Nobody would blame you. It's your home. After all, the world doesn't evolve around drugs and the people who sell them and use them. They're honest hard-working people in the city of Los Angeles, who works 13 hours a day. Once in a while, some of them get ideas. Some hear voices in their heads. Some want to take a shortcut. They end up killing their wives, their husbands, their neighbors, friends, and total strangers, and try to cover up their crimes. That's when you come to the picture and give the victims and their families justice that they deserve. You're the finest homicide detective I have ever met, but you don't know anything about mafias, drug trafficking, and police corruption. Alicia, what are you trying to say? I'm not good enough to handle a high-profile case? Vincent, I didn't say that. Alicia, you think I'm some kind of TV detective? I only solve crimes that people watch in the news. Is that it? Vincent, no, that's not it. She gets closer to his lips. Alicia, I know what's going on inside LAPD and all the corruption. I get your point. You think I'm afraid to expose them. They exchange soft kisses. Vincent, you're the best. But you should be careful. You're dealing with killers. It's not worth it. Alicia, I didn't know you cared about me. Vincent, more than life itself. They exchange soft kisses. Alicia, you know I started out as FBI forensic technical. But I quit after I had a fight with my boyfriend. I took my resume to LAPD. They didn't even bother to look at it. Of course, acing the detective exams helps. I solved a couple of high-profile murder cases. They made me a detective lieutenant at the age of 28. Perhaps, they thought they need someone with a brain in the department, handed me the badge. You know, I am just being modest. I deserved it. Plus, they wanted to change LAPD image, all the corruption rumors. They wanted to show old-timers that things were not the same. So, kiss me. I will unleash hell. They kiss intimately. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles. He's talking on his phone. But we don't hear what he's saying due to the music. EXT Santa Monica 3rd Street Promenade, movie set, day. Director Ben Affleck is in the middle of shooting a movie in Santa Monica 3rd Street Promenade. The streets are blocked. There are cops and security men guarding the setting. We see the crew members, grips, extras, cameramen, star wagons, etc. It's a big action movie. Guns are firing from every direction. The stars are Vanessa Hudgens and Chadwick Boseman. Vanessa is carrying a small gun. She is firing at the bad guys. Chadwick is with her. He's carrying 2 Desert Eagles, firing at the bad guys. It's Pulp Fiction meet The Matrix. The bad guys have machine guns. They are firing at them without thinking. It seems a nice explosive action movie. EXT movie set, Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent comes driving and parks his car at the setting. He gets out of the car and walks toward the setting. A security man tries to stop him, and then realizes it's Vincent. He knows him, lets him pass. Vincent walks toward the main setting, stands, and watches the filming. Movie set. Chadwick and Vanessa continue to kill the bad guys with style like Bonnie and Clyde and fire and brimstone in Quentin Tarantino's mind. Chadwick runs out of bullets, drops his 2 Desert Eagles, gets on a motorcycle, rides down the set, and stops next to Vanessa. Vanessa gets on motorcycle. Yet she sits facing the opposite direction. They ride toward Ben's camera while Vanessa's shooting the bad guys. The cinematography captures Vanessa. Ben says, "Cut. We are taking 1 hour break." Everybody goes to their ways. Vincent cuts through the crowd and approaches Ben. Nobody notices him. Ben looks at him. "Ben, what's up?" Vincent, "Hi. My name is Vincent. I called you few hours ago." Ben, "The private investigator." Vincent, "Right. Ben, who gave you my number?" "I just changed it 3 days ago." Vincent, "It's my job, to find people, numbers, addresses, what have you." Ben, "So, what do you want to talk to me about?" Vincent takes out the photo of Natalie from his pocket and shows him. Vincent, "Do you know this girl?" Ben, "That's Natalie Scott." "Where did she disappear?" Vincent, "She is around." Ben, "If you see her, tell her to give me a call." Vincent, "Sure. I will tell her." "You did a movie with her?" Ben, "It's not really a movie. A friend asked me to give her a small part." Vincent, "That friend was Casey Affleck?" Ben, "Right. He told me she was interested in starring in Blue Rose. I told him she can come audition for the part. But I wrote it for Shailene Woodley. Natalie auditioned for the part. She impressed me. But the part was not for her. Instead I gave her a small part. She didn't like it. The next day, she quit." Vincent, "That's not what I heard. She did a full-length movie, titled Fatal. Can I borrow it?" Ben, "It's gone." Vincent, "What do you mean it's gone?" Ben, "She did few sex scenes. Romeo, her gangster boyfriend, flipped out and told me to destroy every copy I made. They threw the actor that she had sex scenes with from a 5-story building and broke both of his legs, killed my 2 dogs, and told me, next time it would be my wife and daughters. So, I burned everything." Vincent, "Are you telling me you didn't save any copy?" Ben, "You should see what they did to my dogs. They skinned them alive. Their heart was still beating. The devil and his demons have nothing on these fascists." Vincent, "Anyway, if you have anything that she made, give me a call." Vincent gives Ben his card. Ben, "Sure." Vincent, "Take care." Ben, "Wait. How did you pass all these securities?" Vincent, "I told them I'm a cop." Ben, "You don't look like a cop." Vincent, "Undercover." Ben, "You don't look like undercover either. You look like a movie star. Have you thought about acting? I might have something for you in a supporting role." Vincent, "Thanks. But no thanks. I'm busy at the moment." Ben, "Whenever you're free. This screenplay that I'm working on it, titled Lost Angel, Searching for a Missing Girl in the City of Los Angeles, wrote it for my little brother. I always wanted to work with a real private detective. You could star next to him in a major supporting role. Or just come and show him few tricks." Vincent, "Sure. I'll think about it." Ben, "Don't forget to tell Natalie I would love to see her. I might have something for her as well, killing me softly, that I am working on." Vincent, "I'll tell her." Ben, "Let me give you a word of advice. Don't fuck with those Italian serial killers. I've never encountered anything that's absolute evil in my life. The Nazis are saints compared to these Guido. If you see them walking toward you, just pray to God that he would make you a bird, and fly away to the farthest galaxy." Vincent smiles politely. Vincent, "You didn't even save 1 copy." Ben, "I swear on my mother's soul. I destroyed everything. 3 months of work. I paid all the expense out of my pocket. I should be in Boston reading novels and writing an Academy-winning screenplay. But instead, Universal asked me to do this high-budget action movie, $115 million. I just blew up 25 cars in 2 days." Vincent, "Good luck with it. But I know you saved a copy somewhere hidden in your house. I have seen some of your movies. You wouldn't back down even to the wrath of God." Ben, "But let me ask you a question. Is it worth putting your family's life in danger?" Vincent, "It is art. If you are not willing to sacrifice everything, nothing is worth doing." Ben, "I will sacrifice everything to protect my family. I will kill, bleed, and die for them. They mean the world to me. Yet I would allow the devil and his demons to put me on the cross, nails through my wrists and feet, and give my life to films, the greatest art known to humankind. However, I wouldn't put my family's life in jeopardy. I don't want anything to happen to them in the account of me." Vincent, "I respect that." Ben, "Anyway, I know Romeo is dead. Let me just collect my thoughts, take care of few things, and wrap up filming this. It is raw. I will invite you and a couple of friends and have a private screen at Matt Damon's house." Vincent, "Sure. But can you tell me the name of the actor that she has a love scene with? I want to ask him few questions regarding to the death of Loretta." Ben, "Jeremiah Anderson." Vincent writes it down. Vincent, "Thanks. Just let me know whenever you are ready to show it." Ben, "Sure." Vincent, "Bye." Ben, "Adios." Vincent walks away. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT movie set, Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent comes to his car. When he is about to enter, Vito and Fabrizio approach him from behind. Vito points his gun at Vincent's side. Vito, don't do anything stupid. Vincent is caught off guard. Vito quickly pats him for gun. Vito, the Don wants to talk to you. Vincent collects his composure. A black limo comes driving and stops next to them. Fabrizio opens the VIP seat. Vito, get in the car. Vincent gets in the limo. Vito gets into the limo with Vincent. Fabrizio gets in the passenger seat. The limo drives away. EXT Luciano Rossettini's mansion, day. An established shot of Luciano Rossettini's house. It's a big mansion. It looks like the White House. There are 5 guards at the main gate standing with machine guns. We see more security men, wearing suits, securing the place. On the soundtrack, music continues to play melodiously. The limo comes driving and stops at the gate. Fabrizio gets out of the car and signs his name. 2 more guards approach the limo from both sides. The limo windows rolls down. The guards look at Vito and Vincent. Vito nods at them and makes a call with his radio. We don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. The gate finally opens. Fabrizio gets back in the passenger seat. The limo drives through the gate, moves down the park, and stops next to the main mansion. Fabrizio gets out of the passenger seat and opens the door. Vincent steps out of the limo, so does Vito. They take Vincent to the house. EXT Luciano Rossettini's mansion, backyard, day. It's splendid backyard. It has a sculpture garden that consists of 2 swimming pool, basketball court, a tennis court, a private bar, with 2 bartenders, a water fountain, etc. It looks like a resort. There are about 14 little kids swimming, playing soccer, running around. A lifeguard and 3 housekeepers watch the kids. Luciano Rossettini, 64, sits at the quietest section of the backyard, near the bar, with a glass of red wine. 3 bodyguards stand nearby, carrying machine guns. 1 bodyguard stands holding a briefcase. The Godfather is lost deep in thought. Vincent comes to Luciano, escorted by Vito and Fabrizio. The music falls in the background and plays softly. It would fade away. Luciano gives them a nod to leave them alone. This audio file was created by Panopreader Basic. You can download it at www.panopreader.com. Vito and Fabrizio turn around and walk away. Luciano, have sit. Vincent sits at the table. Luciano, you want wine? Vincent, no thanks. Luciano, you're a private investigator? Vincent, yes, I'm. Luciano, I heard you've been asking questions about my son's killer. A beat, who hired you? Vincent, it's confidential. Vincent looks at Luciano's bodyguards who are standing with machine guns. Vincent, my clients want their identities to be protected. Luciano, I respect that. There is a silent moment. Luciano remains in a deep thought. He seems sad. He then. Luciano, Vincent. You don't mind if I call you by your first name? I always called Romeo by his first name. His mother loved him. But she called him Hamlet, after the Prince of Denmark, a character written by William Shakespeare. She played Ophelia in Italy. He was my only son. He might have mixed up with wrong people while I was away. But Romeo was a very good kid. I loved him with all my heart and soul. However, God decided to take him away. He watched someone put bullets into his heart in vain. Perhaps, God has a bigger plan for him, like Moses who took the Israelite out of Egypt. He needed him to take all Christine that were caught in temptation out of hell and lead them to heaven. I prayed to God every day to look after my son whether he's, heaven or hell. I promised I won't seek revenge so long as he blesses his soul. However, I want you to find who did it for peace of mind. Luciano gives a nod to his bodyguard who is carrying the briefcase. The bodyguard places the briefcase on the table, opens it, and stands back. Luciano, $5 million, to get you started. That's my son's money. He has more money than the devil. Gets up, you may have a glass of wine before you head out if you want to. It's up to you. But I'm tired. I'll take a nap. Luciano walks toward the main house. His bodyguards follow him. Vincent looks at the briefcase. He turns his eyes, looks at the surrounding, kids playing, gangsters standing with machine guns and securing the area, etc. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles, talking to Alicia on his cell phone. Int. Vincent's convertible, moving, /LAPD, Alicia's desk, day. Alicia sits at her desk, talking to Vincent on her cell phone while looking at information on her computer. We don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. They talk a little bit. They both hang up. We stay with Vincent. Vincent focuses on the road as he continues to drive in the street of Los Angeles. We take it with overhead shot. Montage, Los Angeles. A quick take of the city of Los Angeles, sunset/night. Downtown Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign, Beverly Hills, the Kodak Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, Dodger Stadium, millions of cars driving in the streets of Los Angeles, houses and buildings on the coastline of Pacific Ocean and many more. Int. Vanity Fair Club, night. Natalie sings on the stage, Sada's by your side. Vincent sits at a table and watches her. He is in love with her. She sounds soulful. Natalie then finishes singing, comes to Vincent's table, pulls a chair, and sits in front of him. Natalie, what's up? Vincent, nothing much. Natalie, what brings you here? Vincent, I came to see you. Natalie, why? Vincent, I missed you. Natalie, I didn't hear you. He smiles softly. Vincent, I can't stop thinking about you. Natalie, why can't you? Vincent, has anybody told you that it's impossible to erase you from memories? Natalie, is that so? Vincent, your vision. Natalie, playing along what's vision? Vincent, a girl who is born to rule the world. Natalie, I heard that before. Natalie takes out a cigarette and smokes. Vincent, smoking is legal in this club. Natalie, mockingly yes, it's. Vincent, may I? She gives him the cigarette. Vincent takes a drag, breathes out the smoke, and returns the cigarette to her. There is a silent moment. She then. Natalie, this young female detective came to ask me few questions about Romeo, where I was at time of his death and all. Vincent, what did you tell her? Natalie, the same thing I told you. Vincent says nothing. There is a pause. Natalie, do you know her, the detective? Vincent, kind of. Natalie, what do you mean kind of? Vincent, I used to go out with her. Natalie, what happened? Vincent, nothing. There is a silent moment. She then. Natalie, were you dating her? Vincent, we were friends with benefits, like you. She has a boyfriend. Natalie, is he a cop? Vincent, he's her partner. Natalie, is she sleeping with you behind her boyfriend? Vincent, she just wants to have fun. Natalie, what do you mean by fun? Vincent, you know how female cops are. They're horny. She smiles sweetly. Natalie, what about male private investigators? Are they horny too? Vincent, I can't speak for other private investigators. However, nothing gives me more pleasure than pleasing beautiful girls sexually. But I have a very sensitive heart. Natalie, really? Vincent, it doesn't help my case when I ran into a delicious girl like you. Natalie, you think I'm all that? Vincent, the light of the world. Natalie, you're romantic. Vincent, I doubt it. Natalie, how come? Vincent, I am just playing with your feeling. Natalie, pay me a compliment. Vincent, I would have counted every star in the sky, reached into heavens, stolen a tulip from the Garden of Eden, kissed it and given a flower to Helen of Troy if beauty were immune to a curse. Yet, I would not hesitate to cut open my chest, remove my heart, and burn it in hell if a single beat of my heart doubt, or question if you're the most beautiful girl in the universe. I would then replace it with a red rose that masters the art of sting, and witness the petals fall one by one whenever I blink my eyes, and feel thorns grows around my soul as if they were flowers that blossom in spring, and spike my liver deep whenever I see your eyes and hear your voice, and leave me with nothing but fall in love with the shape of your lips as if I had no choice. You have a splendid sense of presence, radiant eyes, delicious lips, and beautiful face that give me feeling of bliss at the bottom of my heart and great joy in my brain. When I am not with thee, I feel darkness consuming my quintessence as if each beat of my heart were mercilessly slain. I can't breathe, relax, think straight, or deal with a migraine. And that feeling can only be rivaled by crucifixion when I think about kissing your lips in vain. Natalie, that's the best compliment I have ever received. Vincent, it's nothing. Natalie, I am wet. Vincent, you're just saying that to seduce me. Natalie, honest. If I had known I have that kind of emotional effect in a person's life, I would have never felt I had wasted my life. Vincent, what make you think you had wasted your life? You're young. You have a bright future ahead of you. Natalie, I had never been in love before, till I met you. Vincent, you don't want to fall in love with me. I'm not what you think I'm. Natalie, what are you? Vincent, nobody. Natalie, what do you mean nobody? Vincent, just a man who says anything to get what he wants. Natalie, how's that? Vincent, I might have said it to seduce you and take you to the bed. Natalie, I like a man with a big sexual appetite. Vincent, I could be a sex addict. Natalie, sex is the biggest part of life. If anybody tells me that sex is a crime, that would mean they are not emotionally available. Vincent, humorously, what if I am not emotionally available? I am a psychopath who just loves to see you happy, and have some the best orgasm of your life. Perhaps even die with sexual pleasure. Natalie, playing along, it doesn't matter. I like you. Vincent, honestly, I wish I only liked you and think about something else. But I couldn't get you out of my heart. Natalie smiles in beauty. There is a silent moment. She then. Natalie, what are you up to? Are you still looking for the killer? Vincent, do you think the killer wants to be found? Natalie, how should I know? Vincent, what does your instinct tell you? Natalie, it doesn't tell me anything. Vincent, humorously, could he be a serial killer? Natalie, I don't know. I'm not a cop. Vincent, you would make a great homicide detective. Natalie, you don't like what I do? Vincent, I would have never come here if I don't like what you do. Natalie, but you'd prefer me better if I were a cop instead of a singer. Vincent, is that what you think? Natalie, no. It's a fact. Vincent, where did you get your fact? Natalie, common sense. Vincent, they said, common sense is a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden. Natalie, what doesn't that mean? Vincent, it means you're unique. Natalie, anyway, don't you have to go to college to be a detective? Vincent, not really. You just have to be a police officer, pass few detective exams, and then work your way to the top. Natalie, I didn't know that. Vincent, it might help if you have a degree. You have associate degree in psychology, don't you? Natalie, who told you that? Vincent, I did a little background check. Natalie, you could have asked me. I would have told you everything. Vincent, so, tell me what's the story behind your psychology degree? Natalie, I thought about being a lawyer. I was told if you wanted to be a lawyer, psychology degree was crucial. 90% of the battle fought in the courtroom is psychology, 5% is fact, and 5% is law. I thought about going Harvard Law School but changed my mind. I didn't want to defend or persecute anybody. Who am I kidding? If a man cuts his neighbor's throat, should I provide him the best defense money can buy so I could go to Paris once in a while and visit the Louvre? It's not worth it? Vincent, you can do a lot of things with law degree. You can represent victims of medical malpractices and make a ton of money. Natalie, it's not my cup of tea. Vincent, have you thought about being a shrink? Natalie, no, I have no patience to sit and listen to people's problems. Vincent, you can work at non-profit organizations, then run for governor, and be the first female president of the USA. What do you think? Natalie, being the first female president of the USA has always been the dream of mine, but I'm not very good with people. Vincent, you're amazing with me. Natalie, it's because you're romantic. You bring the best in me. Vincent, thanks for the compliment. Natalie, it's not a compliment. It's the truth. Vincent, anyway, I looked at your profile. You minored film and theater. You did a couple of films. What did you quit acting? Natalie, I didn't like the attention. Vincent, did Romeo throwing Jeremiah from 5-story building have anything to do with you quitting from acting? Natalie, no, I just had to heal my soul. There is a silent moment. Vincent looks at her eyes. She is hiding something from him. Vincent, what do you mean you had to heal your soul? Natalie, stay away from drugs. I quit drinking. There is a lot of temptation in Hollywood. I experimented with a lot of drugs in short period of time while I am acting. That's when I decided to be with Romeo, so I could collect myself and do something substantial with my life. Vincent, you own this place, don't you? Natalie, are you asking me how I got it? Vincent, I know Romeo brought it for you. He was in love with you, wasn't he? Natalie, he might have been. But he didn't want to be seen with me in public. Vincent, maybe he was protecting you. Natalie, protecting me from who? Vincent, Romeo had a lot of enemies. They would have killed you in order to get to him. That's why he kept you secret. Natalie, you mean instead of Lolita, it could have been me? Vincent, something like that. It's like Goodfellas, the only way they could get to him would be by getting to you. Natalie, do you think the murder is mob related? Vincent, I think so. There is a silent moment. She then. Natalie, why are you really here? Vincent, I came here to collect my thoughts. Natalie, what thoughts? Vincent, you gave me peace of mind. Natalie, you don't have to lie to me. You think I have something to do with the murder? Vincent, no, I don't. Natalie, tell me the truth. Vincent, as long as you're innocent, you shouldn't worry about anything. Natalie, I'm worried. Vincent, why are you worried? Natalie, I like talking to you. I have never felt like this before. I think I might be in love with you. Vincent, I like you very much too. No girl has ever made me feel this way before. You completely leave my soul high and dry. Natalie, what does high and dry mean? Vincent, helpless. You have slaved my soul. I have no defense from your spell. Natalie, you are something. Vincent, maybe. But do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about the murder? Natalie, not at all. Vincent, were you engaged to Romeo? Natalie, yes. He made my life easier. He bought me a car, jewelries, a house, then this place. Later, he asked me to marry him. Vincent, did you know he was married? Natalie, yes. Vincent, it didn't bother you? Natalie, it bothered me. But Mormons have 2-3 wives. Vincent, you're not a Mormon. She beams up with a beautiful smile. Natalie, he told me he would get a divorce. Vincent, what about? It didn't bother you Romeo sleeping with half of the women in Los Angeles? Natalie, it hurt. Vincent, so why did you want to marry him? Natalie, you're what you think you are. You can't change overnight. Vincent, what did you think of yourself? Natalie, an addict. Vincent, were you in love with him? Natalie, no, I wasn't. He was a womanizer. Vincent, but you thought about marrying him despite the fact his infidelity and hoped it worked out? Natalie, I would have divorced him and taken half of his money before the devil knew he was dead. Vincent, really? Natalie, would that make me a bad girl? Vincent, no. You're a smart girl, kind and sweet as well. You don't need Romeo to provide you with anything. You could have figured it out by yourself. Natalie, figured out what? Vincent, you're the most beautiful girl in the state of California if not in the solar system. You can easily be a movie star and make millions per picture. Natalie, what if I don't know anything about acting? Vincent, you did it. Everybody loved you. Natalie, are you suggesting I was acting when I said I am in love with you? Vincent, no. That's the most romantic thing anybody has said to me. She gets up, removes her underwear, drops it on the floor, and sits on the table, in front of Vincent, shows him her vagina in seduction. Natalie, so, are you going to sit and criticize if I'm a good actress, or do you want to take me to my house and investigate me in private? Vincent kisses her thigh. He gets up and kisses her lips. They kiss French intimately, while everybody is watching. He then picks her up and walks toward the exit while joining lips to lips. On the soundtrack music plays melodiously. Int. Natalie's house, bedroom, night. Vincent and Natalie make love. It's steamy, alluring, and passionate. We stay with them with series cuts as they go at it with various sexual positions. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the streets of Los Angeles, talking to Emily on his cell phone. Int. Vincent's convertible/VPI Inc., day. Emily sits at her desk, talking to Vincent on her phone while looking at information in her computer. But we don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. Note, we do intercut the scene. They talk a little bit and hang up the phones. We stay with Vincent. Vincent focuses on the road as he continues to drive in the street of Los Angeles. ext Vivian's villa, day. An established shot of Vivian Flores' multimillion-dollar villa. It has a swimming pool, a water fountain, beautiful garden, guest houses, a tennis court, etc. Vincent comes driving, parks his car next to the villa, gets out of the car, carrying a file, and walks toward the main house. ext Vivian's villa, courtyard and swimming pool too, day. Vivian swims in a luxurious swimming pool at the back court, half naked. She is only wearing underwear. Vincent comes to the swimming pool area, escorted by a big muscular black man. Vivian gets out of the swimming pool and dries herself with a towel as she approaches Vincent. She gives her bodyguard a nod to leave them alone. The bodyguard walks away. Vivian sits at a table, revealing her two magnificent breasts. Vincent is not too distracted. Vivian, have a seat. Vincent pulls a chair and sits. Vivian, did you find the killer? Vincent, I'm still working on it. Vivian, why are you here? Vincent, I came to ask you a few questions about the murder. Vivian, that's odd. Vincent, where were you that night April 22nd between 12:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m.? Vivian, why are you asking me that? I hired you to find my sister killer. Vincent, I just want to make sure I ask everybody few questions and put the pieces together. So, tell me where you were that night. Vivian, do you know I could fire you and hire another PI for asking me that question? Vincent, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Romeo's father hired me to find his son killer as well. I am in too deep. Vivian, you're not a cop. Why should I tell you anything? Vincent, I'm a private investigator. You don't want me to pull your little dirty secrets. Vivian, what secrets? Vincent, your husband. Austin Floyd, how he disappeared and all that lying and covering that you staged. Vivian, what about it? Vincent, I know you hired lifesavers who staged fake crime scene. You killed Austin right here, in this house after you caught him having sex with Lolita. You then called lifesavers to get rid of the body and make it look like an accident. They cleaned the house. They took your husband's body, sailed in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, cut his corpse into pieces, fed him to sharks, and sank the boat. When the police questioned you about his disappearance, you just told them he took a trip around the world. Vivian, that's a lie. Vincent, it's in Lolita's diary. Vivian, she doesn't keep diaries. Vincent, it could have been a movie idea that she might have shared with a screenwriter whom she used to go out with. Vivian, I don't believe you. Vincent, it doesn't matter. I'm not a cop. But I know you have been contacting your father secretly, and plastic surgery thing he did. FBI might be interested in hearing the information. There is a pause. She then. Vivian, what do you want from me? Vincent, you were dating Romeo secretly, weren't you? Vivian, that's just a rumor. Vincent takes out pictures of Vivian and Romeo on tabloids and shows her the pictures. Vincent, the pictures of you with Romeo taken at a resort. The images are not clear. Vivian, denying it's not Romeo. She puts the pictures on the table. Vincent, I talked to the person who took the pictures and got the original copies. Vincent puts the original pictures in front of her. Vincent, Romeo had the same scar on his face. Vivian, so, what does that prove? Vincent, it doesn't prove anything, except Lolita went out and slept with a man that you were dating again. Just maybe you wanted to teach her a lesson and probably get rid of one person who knew your secret, your half-sister. Flashback. EXT Sunset Tower, night. Romeo gets in his convertible and starts the car. Lolita and Romeo get on the street and drive down the road. Vivian, who is sitting in her Bentley convertible, starts her car, and follows them. EXT Los Angeles, seaside, night. Romeo and Lolita make out with kisses in the car. Vivian gets out of her car, carrying a gun, approaches Romeo and Lolita, fires and kills them. Vivian turns around, walks to her car, gets behind the wheel, starts her car, and drives away. EXT Vivian's villa, courtyard and swimming pool 2, day. Back to, Vincent and Vivian. Vivian, that's outrageous accusation. She's my sister. I would never hurt her. Vincent, where were you that night between 12:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m.? Vivian, I don't remember. I might have been home watching movie. Vincent, your neighbor saw you leaving around 11:30 p.m. Where did you go? Vivian, I might have gone to the beach. I don't remember. Vincent, does Vice Erotic House means anything to you? He gives her a card that has Vice Erotic House. Vivian, no. She gives him the card back. Vincent, someone saw you there around 2 a.m. Just tell me the truth. Vivian, you want the truth? Vincent, it won't hurt. Vivian, you think you can handle it? Vincent, humorously, I'm not Tom Cruise. But I can live with it. Vivian, I am a nymphomaniac. I was there doing cocaine and getting fucked by 30 black guys starting from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. I have a videotape to prove it. I can only show it in the courtroom if they think I had anything to do with the murder. There is a silent moment. She then. Vivian, are you still interested in finding my sister killer? If you're, don't ask me any more questions unless you want to fuck me with barbed wire around your dick and come in my mouth. I have lost the loving feeling. She gets up and walks to her house. Vincent gets up and leaves. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Mulholland Drive. EXT Richard's house, day. An established shot of Richard House in Mulholland Drive. It's a splendid villa. Vincent comes driving, parks his car next to the house, gets out of the car, and walks toward the house. Int. Richard's house, living room, day. Vincent greets Richard, 38. They come to the living room. The music on the soundtrack lies in the background and plays softly. Richard goes toward his private bar. Richard, do you want to drink? Vincent, no. Thanks. Richard grabs scotch and begins to pour a glass for himself. Richard, you can have a seat. Vincent sits at the coffee table and looks around the living room. It's a beautiful house. There are a couple of Academy Awards in glass boxes. We see photos of Richard with various movie stars in frames. Richard comes to the coffee table and sits in a sofa. Richard, my agent said you have a business proposal. Vincent, actually, I came to pitch you a movie idea. It's called Vision. Richard, what's it about? Vincent, Max is an architect. He meets a girl named Mary. She's an artist. They fall in love and get married. Then, Max finds out Mary is a paranoid schizophrenic. She sees visions without visual stimulus and talks to them. She strangles with these wraiths and hallucination. Max helps her gain some control over her life. Later, as her perception of reality turns into the worst, Max puts the puzzle together, and discovers her true secret, a quadruple homicide, which led to her condition. In the end, Mary, tormented by her inner demons, tries to kill Max to keep her secret. She shoots him in the chest and tries to kill herself, not wanting to take his life. Max, who survived the shooting, pulls himself together, and tells her that he is madly in love with her. He promises her that he'll take care of her till death do them part. She drops the gun. They kiss intimately. That is the end of the film. Richard, that's a very interesting story. Vincent, I have the script and the money. All you have to do is stand behind the camera and say, action, cut, and that's a wrap. Richard, I'm not a director. I'm a producer. But thanks for the thought. Vincent, what does a producer do? Richard, we guide the production from start to finish. We hire the director, supervise casting, and assemble a crew. We also oversee the budget, and then coordinates the post-production work, every single detail from editing, to choosing the right film score, trailers to advertising the movie around the world, and encouraging the film stars to appear in talk shows. In the end, we pick up the award for Best Picture at the Academy Award. Vincent, that's a lot of responsibility. Richard, you're telling me? That's why they call us money men. Vincent takes out the photo of Natalie from his pocket, and shows him. Vincent, let's say if I want this girl to star in the movie. Does she need your approval? Richard, that's Natalie. Vincent, do you know her? Richard, intimately. Vincent, that will save me a lot of time. Richard, you're the private detective that she's sleeping with. Vincent, who told you that? Richard, she did. Vincent, where were you on April 22nd between 12:30 a.m. to 1 a.m.? Richard, I was with her. Vincent, what did you do? Richard, didn't she tell you? Vincent, I want to hear it from you. Richard, we watched movie and had sex. She then got up in the middle of the night and left. Vincent, what time did she leave? Richard, around 2:30 in the morning. She went to get something. But she never returned. Vincent, why didn't you go with her? Richard, she's wild. She fucked the living daylights out of me. I didn't even know she left. I was literally unconscious. Vincent, you just said she went to get something. How did you know that she went to get something if you were literally unconscious? Richard, that was a figure of speech. I was glorifying her sexual performance as if I were selling you a movie. I saw her getting up. I was tired but asked her where she was going. She said she had to go home, put on her clothes, and left. Vincent gets up. Vincent, thanks for your time. Gives him his card. I will send you the script when I finish it. It is only first draft. Richard gets up. Richard, take your time. I have a couple of movies lined up. It's a busy year. Actually, I'm juggling 5 films this year alone. But I'll make Vision my #1 priority next year. Vincent, I'll have it ready by then. Richard, don't worry about it. I might not need a complete script. I just need the idea in 5 lines or less. I have professional screenwriters. They'll put it in 110 pages. We'll shot it in 3 months and make millions. Vincent, are you sure you don't need a complete script? Richard, I'll send you a check for $250,000. I've already visualized it. Check your mail in the morning. Vincent, I think I might be in a wrong business. I should become a producer. Richard, it's the best job in the world. It's like walking into a bank with a fake gun and an empty bag. The guards escort you to the vault where the money is kept. They all know the gun is fake, but they don't give a fuck. You just fill the money in the bag and exit the building like a bad motherfucker. Return with another bag, fill it with money, and leave untouchable, and so on. Sometimes, you get to fuck the stars, while sniffing cocaine from their buttocks. Life is good. Vincent, I see. Take care. Richard, bye. Vincent walks toward the direction of the camera. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT bridge, Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the bridge. Int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent is looking at a file. On the sound, music continues to play melodiously. Vincent then puts the file aside and looks at in the rear view mirror. There is a black SUV Audi is following him. EXT SUV Audi, moving, day. We don't see who is behind the wheel. The window is covered with black taint. They are following Vincent's convertible. Vincent's convertible and SUV Audi. Vincent speeds up passing one car after another like a professional F1 driver. Audi SUV continues to follow him. Vincent takes his gun from the compact glove. A bad guy in the Audi SUV, passenger seat rolls down the window. He is wearing ski mask, takes out a machine gun, and fires at Vincent. Vincent drives faster, passing all kinds of cars with breathtaking speed down the bridge. The bad guys in Audi SUV continue to purse Vincent. Vincent is flying like a rocket. The speedometer shows 130 going 140. 160. Amazingly, Audi SUV is right behind Vincent. They must have airplane engine inside the car. The bad guys get near Vincent and fire at him. Vincent ducks in ease, turns around, and fires at them. But nothing happens. Vincent focuses on the street, driving faster. The speedometer shows 175. The SUV is right behind him. Vincent then slows down a little bit. He steps on the brake. The SUV level with the convertible. Vincent shoots the SUV's tire. The SUV flips in the air and crashes. Vincent drives away. EXT TCL Chinese Theater, movie premiere, Sunset. It's the premiere of The Art of Romance at the famous TCL Chinese Theater. A romantic comedy starring Vivian Flor and Ryan Gosling. It's produced by Richard. We see movie stars, models, and guests arriving in limos, posing for paparazzi, and entering the theater. Hundreds of fans scream for autographs, holding posters of the stars, Vivian and Ryan Gosling. A limo comes driving. The door opens. Richard gets out of the car with his date. It's Natalie. She's wearing a beautiful lavender Valentino dress. The paparazzi doesn't know who she is. But they can't help taking her pictures. Then Vivian and Ryan Gosling arrive together in a limo. They get out of the limo. The fans scream like hell. The attention quickly turns to the stars. Vivian and Ryan Gosling greet the fans. The paparazzi take their picture. Richard greets Ryan Gosling and Vivian. He introduces them to Natalie. The 4 of them pose for the paparazzi. Ryan Gosling can't take his eyes from Natalie. She gives him a soft beautiful smile, before they walk into the theater. Int. TCL Chinese Theater, movie premiere, Sunset. In the big screen, Ryan Gosling and Vivian talk while walking in a London Bridge. EXT London Bridge, movie, Sunset. Vivian talks with a fake British accent. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. Ryan, she's your copy, exists in extra dimension of space hidden from our sight. Vivian, still how can you sleep with her? She's an alien. Ryan, did you read everything? Vivian, yes, I did. There is a silent moment. Ryan, anyway, it's only a book. Vivian, I know it's a book. Perhaps, I just had a bad day at work. I'm talking out my frustration on my copy who lived in extra dimension of space hidden from our sight. Ryan, what happened at work? Vivian, dealing with real life. They want me to interview Scarlett Johansson in New York City for the cover of Vogue UK, film that she just did here in London, Lost. Ryan, what's wrong with that? Vivian, I was supposed to ask her a few questions here in London. But she changed her mind at the last minute and wants to conduct the interview in New York City, saying schedule conflict. I hate New York City. I get claustrophobia. It's like, you know, London feels home. It's actually home. It belongs to me personally. But New York City belongs to everybody. Fat, old, thin, poor, rich, ugly, weird, beautiful. They all live in Big Apple as if it were the only geographical area in the world that's habitable. Int. TCL Chinese Theater, movie premiere, sunset. Ryan Gosling, who is sitting at the first row, turns slightly and looks at Natalie, who is sitting in the second row. She catches his eyes and gives him a soft smile. Natalie then turns her eyes and sees Vincent, who is sitting in the third row. He gives her a wink. Natalie smiles in beauty and blows him a kiss. He pretends to catch the kiss and place it in his chest pocket, near his heart. They both focus on the movie. EXT London Bridge, movie, sunset. Ryan Gosling changes into Vincent with nice camera work. Vivian changes into Natalie. They continue to walk down the bridge, conversing. Natalie, don't get me wrong. New York City is dream. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. But the people don't know anything about the real world. They don't care if there is a war in the Middle East, or scientists discover cure for cancer. They order pizza and eat while working 3 or 4 jobs. Vincent, that's why it's called the city that never sleep. People are always doing something. Natalie, I am neither going to take a subway, nor visit Times Square, or go out in the daytime. My therapy told me to avoid crowded places. I will have nervous breakdown, looking at their faces. I may just stay in my hotel room and watch movies. Vincent, I can come with you if you want to. I love New York City. I was born and raised there. I know a lot of places where we can go, including Central Park, the Statue of Liberty, Metropolitan Museum, the American Museum of National History at Central Park, Empire State Building, and Modern Art Museum at 5th Avenue and 53rd Street. And later watch basketball, courtside seats at Times Square. Natalie, that's a thought of you. But I hate museum. I don't understand why people go to museums, and look at paintings. It feels burdening, doesn't it? I mean, I spend a lot of time around photographs, models, fashion, interviewing stars, writing articles, watching movies, listening to music, and reading novels, including your mind-twisting books. Paintings become less appealing to me. Vincent, thanks for reading my mind-twisting books. But have you seen Leonardo da Vinci's The Mona Lisa at Louvre Museum in Paris? Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh at the Museum Art in New York City. Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling in Vatican. Guernica by Pablo Picasso at Reina Sofia Museum in Madrid. Painting is life. Natalie, they are exceptional. But seriously, who are we kidding? I did article on paintings for London Time, before I started working at Vogue. Would you pay $274 million for Paul Ceran's The Card Players, $165 million number 5, 1948 by Jackson Pollock? And $162 million for Woman 3 by Willem de Kooning? There are 3 of the most expensive paintings. They stand lips to lips. Vincent, I'm a big fan of art. If they paint your nude portrait, I'll sell my soul to the devil and pay billions to acquire it. They kiss French. EXT Hotel, rooftop, party, night. A movie premiere party, The Art of Romance, is in progress. Elites, producers, movie stars, models, businessmen, and businesswomen mingle while sipping champagnes and wine. On the stage, a girl named Raquel sings Madonna's Take a Vow. Vivian talks to Richard. Natalie converses with Ryan Gosling. Vincent talks to 2 attractive models. We don't hear what they are saying due to Raquel singing Take a Vow. Vincent turns his eyes and sees Natalie. She catches his eyes. They both turn their attention back to their companies and continue to mingle, sipping champagnes. EXT Hotel, rooftop, party, later. Natalie stands next to the frame, in the far end of terrace, looking at the spectacular view of Los Angeles City. It's quieter. Vincent approaches her. Vincent, hi. Natalie, what are you doing here? Vincent, I was invited to attend the premiere. Natalie, who invited you? Vincent, Richard. Natalie, did you ask him what he was doing that night? Vincent, yes, I did. Natalie, what did he tell you? Vincent, he said you're wild. You fucked the living daylights out of him. Natalie, did you believe him? Vincent, what do you think? Natalie, I think you're a fool. Vincent, why am I a fool? Natalie, you believe everything they tell you. Vincent, that's not true. There is a silent moment. She then. Natalie, we like to think we're the masters of our fates. But do we really have free will? Vincent, to some extent. Natalie, to what extent can we live the life that we once dreamed of without the interference of negative emotions, illness, and addiction? Vincent, the sky is the limit. Natalie, tell me about it. Vincent, you can always work around your negative emotions and focus on positive things. Illness can be cured by medicine. Addiction is a choice. You can do anything that you set your mind on. Besides, in your case, you have the world in the palm of your hand. There is a pause. Natalie, what scares you in life? Vincent, nothing. Natalie, don't you sometimes wonder where all these stars in the skies, the universe, and life came from? Vincent, it's mystery. But according to quantum physics, they came out of nothing. Natalie, they must have come from somewhere. Vincent, perhaps, You have something to do with it. Natalie, how's that? Vincent, you created everything without your knowledge. Who knows? You might have been a goddess in past lives, responsible for creation, stats, love associated with phenomena, and multiple universes. Natalie, you think so? Vincent, I could be wrong. No goddess comes close to you. It feels like you exist in an extra dimension of space, separated from our universe, and has nothing in common with this world. You're the most gorgeous girl I've seen in my life. Natalie, that's the best you got. Vincent, maybe. There is a silent moment. She then. Natalie, how do you know everything around you isn't illusion? What if it's all in your mind? Vincent, that doesn't really concern me. I can always count on my 6 senses. Sight, smell, hearing, touch, taste, and intuition. They stand closer lips to lips. Natalie, what does your sight tell you? Vincent, you're the most beautiful woman in the world. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, your smell. Vincent, your very essence smells sweeter than perfume. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, your hearing. Vincent, I only want to hear you talking. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, your taste. Vincent, it's addicted to your lips. They kiss French longer. She then parts her lips. Natalie, what does your intuition tells you? Vincent, there are infinite powers locked away inside our hearts, waiting to be set free. In order to capitalize the full potential of our hearts, and answer some of the biggest questions in life, like why we are here in this world, we must first learn how to kiss with tongues, and feel the power of true love in our souls with French kiss. She smiles in beauty. They kiss French. Int. Natalie's house, bedroom, night. Mickey and Natalie make love. It's sensual, enchanting, steamy, and passionate. We stay with them with series cuts as they go at it with various sexual positions. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles. EXT Hotel and Resort, day. An established shot of hotel and resort. It's luxurious restaurant and resort built next to a scenic lake. Vincent comes driving, parks his car at the parking lot, gets out of the car, and goes to the restaurant. EXT Hotel and Resort, terrace, day. Alicia sits at a table, working on the case on her laptop while drinking red wine. Vincent comes to the terrace and walks up to her. She looks at him and gives him a wink as he approaches her. Vincent pulls a chair and sits at the table. Vincent, what's up? Alicia, nothing much. He looks at her eyes. She seems lost in thought. Vincent, what's bothering you? Alicia, I am depressed. Vincent, why are you depressed? Alicia, I just squashed an ant with my finger accidentally on purpose. It was trying to get in my laptop's keyboard. You know I could easily push it away. But all of a sudden chose to squash the poor thing instinctively. I didn't want the ant to fuck up the connection. Then I looked back and felt what I did was wrong. No one deserves to go out like that. Vincent, don't be hard on yourself. Ants have a short lifespan. They only live 4 to 5 months. That ant that you killed was probably 100 years old, his way to his grave. Alicia, I doubt it was young and energetic, running like Harry Potter with a broom, except he wasn't flying on the air but trying to get in computer. Who knows? It could be someone's reincarnation from past life. Vincent, it could be a serial killer who got away with murder, like Jack the Ripper, or maybe Hitler. Alicia, still he doesn't deserve to be squashed alive. Just put yourself in its place. You think the world is safe and sound. Then, a big finger comes out of the sky and squashes you into nothingness. How would your family and friends feel? Vincent, it is hard. I mean, how bad are we talking about? You know, they would not give me an open casket burial for sure. Alicia, anyway, I felt lost as if I were an infant who just came out of her mother's womb from warm and safe place to this unpredictable world, and tried to figure out the purpose of life. Vincent, we're not here to figure out the purpose of life but to enjoy every minute of it before we get crashed into nothingness. She smiles softly. Alicia, that is hysterical. But there are mischievous forces that have ways of hurting us. Sometimes, I wonder all these stars in the skies, billions of galaxies, and multiple universes exist in vain. You know, if it weren't for these demons that manifest deep in the subconscious mind and refuse to give us peace, we would have just walked through the thin air and go anywhere in the infinite cosmos. Vincent, I can't agree more. Alicia, anyway, it's a nightmare. Vincent, what's nightmare? Alicia, the whole LAPD is corrupted. Evidences are disappearing every day. Crime scenes photos, lab reports, weapons, DNA samples, what have you. Feds are taking over cases, including Romeo and Lolita's case. Vincent, they kicked you out. Alicia, we're still working on it. But we have to report to the Bureau. They're in charge, calling the shots and all. LAPD narcotic, SWAT, the captain, the chief of police, the commissioner. All are under federal investigation. Vincent, I'm not surprised. Alicia, did you hear what happened to me few days ago? Vincent, what happened to you? Alicia, mercenaries came to my house in the middle of the night, wearing masks and carrying machine guns. They might have been LAPD SWAT, maybe DEA, or mercenaries that were hired by mobs. I wouldn't know. They told me to stop investigating the case. Int. Alicia's house, Bedroom, day. Flashback. Alicia is sleeping like Sleeping Beauty. She then hears something. She opens her eyes, gets up in bra and underwear, grabs her gun, and walks toward the living room, drawing her gun. Living room. Alicia sees a man sitting on the sofa and watching TV. He is wearing a French mask. Alicia, freeze motherfucker. What the fuck are you doing in my house? The man says nothing. Then out of nowhere come 6 mercenaries in the living room with machine guns and point their guns at her. In the meantime, a mercenary appears behind Alicia and points a handgun at her head. Mercenary 1, drop the gun. Alicia drops the gun. The man, who was watching the TV, turns off the TV with a remote control, gets up from the sofa, and approaches her. The man, sit down. We have to talk about few things. His voice sounds like a bad radio. He is using voice distortion device. Alicia sits at the coffee table. EXT Hotel and Resort, Terrace, day. Back to, Vincent and Alicia. Vincent, that's crazy. Alicia, internal affair think LAPD are involved in drug trafficking and might have something to do with Romeo's death. They just found the body of Cesar Materazzi in a refrigerator at a meat factory frozen like a rock 2 days ago. We were supposed to work on it. But FBI told us fuck you. Go door to door and ask witnesses for leads. Or question Rocky Balboa if he might punch the body mistakenly for part 7. Vincent smiled lightly. Vincent, who do you think killed Cesar Materazzi? Alicia, there are a list of suspects. Luciano Rossettini Sodders might have killed him in retaliation for Romeo's murder. SWAT could have easily killed him, part of the corruption. Mexico cartels and mobs are in war. They might have killed him. I have to wait and see where it leads. I'm in the middle of working on it with the Bureau. Vincent, what if LAPD did it, are you going to expose them? Alicia, in a heartbeat. Vincent, do you want to know what I think? Alicia, what? Vincent, it was FBI that came to your house. Alicia, what do you mean FBI? Vincent, feds are in the middle of investigating the corruption in LAPD. Romeo's case is a crucial evidence. So, they came to your house, pretending to be mercenaries. It is not because they wanted to hurt you. But to investigate the whole department, using that as an excuse. Alicia, how do you know that? Vincent, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure that out. If it were the mobs or SWAT, they would have just killed you and walked away. FBI knew you were going to contact them ahead of time. You were one of them. So, they came in the night, and scared you a little bit. When you reported the incident, they took the case from LAPD. Alicia, are you telling me they fucked me? Vincent, maybe. Alicia, fuck. I feel like a whore. Do you want to have sex? Let's just get it out of our systems and clear our conscience. Vincent, what about Brad? I thought you're getting married. Alicia, we're not getting married. This audio file was created by Panopreader Basic. You can download it at www.panopreader.com. We decided to wait. Vincent, why? Alicia, he transferred to Dallas, so he could be close to his father who's diagnosed with lung cancer. Vincent, is he cool about you and I sleeping? Alicia, I don't know, and I don't care. He doesn't know that I am fooling around with you. Vincent, what if he finds it out? Alicia, big deal. We'll broke the engagement and move on with our lives. Vincent, that's not fair. Alicia, Mark and I were partners. I used to see him every day. We thought we could work magic. But the fact is we mistook our daily duties with relationship and ended up confusing each other with feeling that we thought love. Vincent, what does that mean? Alicia, it means if I see something every day, I'll develop a feeling toward that person. It's human nature to be with someone that we work with, except I can't help it. I get aroused thinking about you. Vincent, so, you want to do it in your house or in my apartment? Alicia, I have always liked to do it in your apartment. It smells like sex. Int. Vincent's apartment, bedroom, night. Vincent and Alicia make love. It's alluring, steamy, and sensual. In the meantime, we see all the suspects on the walls mixed with the sex scene, floating in the air. Int. Vincent's apartment, kitchen and living room, night. Vincent cooks fish. Alicia, wearing Vincent's shirt and Victoria's Secret underwear, stands in the living room, looking at the photos. She sees the photo of Natalie on the far end. Vincent comes to the living room with the fish and places it on the table. Vincent, dinner is ready. Alicia, what time is it? Vincent looks at the watch on the wall. Vincent, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Alicia sits at the table. Vincent goes to his private bar, grabs a bottle of wine and 2 glasses, and comes to the table. He places the glasses on the table, and opens the bottle with a wine opener. Vincent pours the wine in the glasses and sits at the table. They would talk as they eat and drink. Alicia, what's the story between you and Natalie? Vincent, there is nothing between us. Alicia, are you in love with her? Vincent, what make you think I'm in love with her? Alicia, you're only around people when you need something from them. Either she knows something that's critical to the evidence or you're head over heels in love with her. Vincent, I'm head over heels in love with her. Alicia, is she better than me in bed? Vincent, it's different. Alicia, what's different? Vincent, she is still young, but very passionate, and doesn't hold anything. She can make a slave out of a heart. On the other hand, you're pro. You know every trick there is to know. Alicia, explain that to me. Vincent, I can be selfish with you. But when I'm with her, I don't think about myself. All I think about making her happy. Alicia, it means you love her. Vincent, you think so? Alicia, I can't blame you. I talked to her. I'm not lesbian or anything. But she has those exotic eyes. They make you drunk with sexual desire. Plus, she has amazing sexual energy. Vincent, maybe, some days we'll have threesome. Alicia, anyway, let's talk about the crime. What do you have on her? Vincent, I have already told you. I had nothing on her. Alicia focuses on her meal. She then. Alicia, you think it's crime of passion? Vincent, what is crime of passion? Alicia, I found out she was dating Romeo at the time of his death. Vincent says nothing. Alicia, did she do it? Vincent, I doubt it. Alicia, so, who killed Romeo? Vincent, what's your take? Alicia, based on the evidence and motives. I thought Cesar might have killed him. But he's dead. Then I suspected LAPD narcotic and SWAT might have killed him. Yet why would LAPD kill a man like Romeo at close range? They have well-trained snipers. They would have done it quietly and get rid of the bodies. If not LAPD. The Commission, the 5 families of New York Mafia, especially Gianluca crime family. They were backing Materazzi during the battle. They have big influence in the Cosa Nostra. Don't count out Mexican cartels. The Rodriguez brothers. Colombian drug dealers. Never underestimate black lions. Russian mafias, the Chinese, any one of them might have killed him. But still they would have kept their distance from Romeo and used some kinds of automatic weapons. I believe it's someone he knows dearly. Mickey looks at the suspects on the wall. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Beverly Hills, talking on his cell phone. But we don't hear what he's saying due to the music on the soundtrack. EXT Beverly Hills Chateau, day. An established shot of Beverly Hills Chateau. It's a luxurious upscale coffee shop and restaurant. Vincent comes driving and parks the car at the parking lot. Vincent gets out of the car and walks to Chateau. EXT Beverly Hills Chateau, pub, day. Roy, 36, and James Franco sit at a table, talking while enjoying coffee and cookies. Vincent comes to the pub and approaches them. Roy looks at him and gets up to greet him. Roy, what's up? Vincent, nothing much. They greet with style. Roy, have a seat. Vincent pulls a chair and sits. Roy sits as well. Roy, this is Vincent. James Franco. James Franco, hi. Vincent, hi. They shake hands, greeting. Roy, to James Franco, tell me from the beginning. James Franco, the title is Eternity. The story of a man who doesn't age. Sean is born in Boston 2041, it's set in near future. He moved to New York City after troubled upbringing in Boston. We follow his story in New York City from 2060 to 2066 as the leader of a gang that masters in a computer hacking and bank robbery. Then in 2066, he flees New York City after unsuccessful bank robbery attempt and enlists in the US Marines and fight in the fictional China War. He then encounters a phenomenon, a bright light from space burns his face during the battle. He miraculously recovers from the burn and becomes forever young. He gets discharged from the army, goes to Tokyo, and becomes involved in heroin trade in 2070s. He falls in love with a geisha who happened to be dating a Japanese crime boss. Things don't work out like he planned. He moves back to USA. Florida in the early 2080s, he falls in love with a girl named Matilda while running a computer company called Orange, the equivalent to Apple. She gives birth to his sons. While trying to be a normal father to his sons in 2980s, he runs into his old gang. The gangsters ask him to participate in a bank robbery, to hack a federal bank and steal $10 billion of illegal computer software money that FBI confiscated from China, or there would be a consequence, threatens to hurt his family. He takes part in another yet failed robbery, and forced to run away. He comes to Spain, and is quickly involved in cocaine trafficking in 2090s, at the same time, he invents virtual reality social media, loses his soul to women and cocaine. Later, he falls in love with a Spanish actress named Monica Cruz, a girl 1/3 of his age. He straightens up his act, leaves cocaine business behind, and sells his virtual reality social media to Microsoft. Sean and Monica come to Los Angeles. He becomes a respectable movie director in 2100s. She becomes his muse and gives birth to his child. Meanwhile, he starts the first private space program, St. Rose, that allows people to take trip in the space, in this spellbinding tale of an extraordinary man and the culture and the places he discovers along the way, the passion he finds, the pleasure of life, the future and what lasts forever. Roy, that sounds like Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in America, Forrest Gump, Casablanca, and The Age of Adeline meet The Fifth Element. James Franco, I had the screenplay before The Age of Adeline. I was sitting on it, waiting for the right time. Just tell me if you're interested on directing the movie. I was going to do it myself. But schedule conflict prevented me. I have 6 movies lined up this year, would have gone to Larry. However, I like your vision. It's like Terrence Malick in TNT. Roy, I'm definitely interested in directing it. But I might have to wrap up this independent movie that I am working on, The Art of Seduction. It took me 4 months. I'm doing it in between production with Lily Collin unscripted with zero budget. James Franco gets up. James Franco, I'll talk to Seth. He wants to throw a couple of millions. As a matter of fact, he's an executive producer. I will produce it. We're starting the production next week. We need a director. Are you in or out? James Franco gives Roy his fist to punch. Roy, I'm in. Roy connects his fist with Franco. James Franco, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Roy, bye. James Franco, take care. To Vincent. Nice to meet you. Vincent, likewise. James Franco, have a nice day. Vincent, thanks, you too. James Franco walks away. Roy, so, what's up? Vincent, nothing much. Roy, what do you want to talk to me about? Vincent, I have an idea for a movie. Roy, what's it? Vincent, it's about a girl who travels in time and kills serial killers, before they commit the crime, while attending college. Roy, I like it. Vincent shows him the photo of Natalie. Vincent, she might want to play the lead role. Roy, that is Natalie, the most beautiful girl in the world. Vincent, Kevin said you have her music video. Roy, I was going to make her a star. But I can't find a song that capture her voice. She can sing like an angel. You know, she could sing for you I'll always love you like Whitney Houston, maybe like Dolly Parton. It is still excellent. Yet when you give her a new song, it doesn't come out quite right. It's good, but not great. These music critics are mean, not like films. They have all kinds of voice measurement. I did the same thing a couple of years ago. I saw this princess and did a music video for her to jumpstart her career. The critics destroyed her. She cut her wrist and almost killed herself. Her brother found her in the bathtub bleeding and took her to hospital. They saved her life. It's déjà vu all over again. I showed Natalie's music video to a few music critics. They liked the video. But they compared her voice with Paris Hilton Stars Are Blind. Vincent, can I see it? Roy, sure. They get up. Roy, just follow me to my house. I live 5 minutes from here. Holmby Hill's right next to Hugh Hefner Playboy Mansion. Vincent gets up. They walk toward the exit, talking. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT Vincent's convertible / Roy's Porsche, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Beverly Hills, following Roy's 2017 Porsche convertible. EXT Roy's mansion, day. An established shot of Roy's multimillion-dollar mansion. It looks like Taj Mahal. Roy passes the main gate, driving down the garden. Vincent follows him. Roy parks his car in front of his house. Vincent pulls next to Roy's car. They both get out of the car and walk to the mansion. Int. Roy's mansion, living room, day. Roy puts Natalie's music video in the DVD player and plays it. She sounds amazing. Vincent doesn't see any flow. Vincent, it sounds good. Roy, it sounds good to us, because it's auto-tune. Plus, we don't know anything about music. Suppose I ask you, can Britney Spears sing? What is your answer? Vincent, I think she is sensational. I used to listen to her songs in my car. I like Toxic. Roy, but if you ask music critics, they would tell you she is the queen of auto-tune, despite the fact she is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, has sold over 200 million records worldwide. Roy switches it to Natalie's real voice. It doesn't sound the same. But it is still pretty good. Vincent focuses on the music video. Music video. Beach. We see Natalie, wearing a sexy bikini, walking down shoreline. She looks at a man in his early 30s who's sitting in the beach and gazing at the ocean. He resembles Vincent. We'll call him Vince. He turns his eyes and looks at her as she continues to walk down the shoreline, toward his direction. She gives him a soft beautiful smile as she passes by him, and continues to walk down the shoreline. Club. Natalie sings at a fancy club. A wise guy / businessman, David, sits at a table with an attractive girl named Elizabeth and watches Natalie as she sings pleasantly. David looks exactly like Romeo. Elizabeth looks exactly like Lolita. In the meantime, we see Vince sitting at the far end of the club. He is watching Natalie. Vince slowly changes into Vincent. David's convertible, moving. Natalie and David drive in the street of unknown city. It's night. David is behind the wheel. Natalie is in the passenger seat, singing, lips movement. The sky is covered with stars. There is a bright moon that has the image of Natalie. Horse racing track, grandstand, day. Natalie and David watch horses racing. He is into horse racing. Natalie doesn't care a beat. She excuses David and goes to buy something. Horse racing track, candy shop. Natalie buys a lollipop at a candy shop. She exits the shop and wanders around sucking the lollipop. Natalie then runs into Vincent. They talk like lovers, gazing at each other's eyes tenderly. We don't hear what they are saying due to Natalie singing on the soundtrack. She then tells him she has to go back to David. Vincent gives her his card. She puts it between her breasts and walks away. Horse racing track, grandstand. Natalie comes to David while sucking the lollipop. They talk without a sound. Out of nowhere, he produces a ring, places it on her palm, and closes her palm. Natalie opens her palm and looks at it. Natalie is speechless. It's a beautiful ring made with gold and diamond. She places the ring on her middle finger. But it's too big. David tells her the story behind the ring. Flashback. An established shot of a big castle. It's set in 16th century England, late 1500s. A big party is in progress. We see nobles, aristocrats, attractive young women, and elects socializing, mingling, and dancing. We then meet a man named Michael played by Vincent. He is a poet, in love with a beautiful girl named Isabel played by Natalie. Isabel is about to marry Prince Edward played by Romeo. She is conversing with Prince Edward at the far end of the castle. Isabel looks at Michael, gives him a beautiful smile, and turns her eyes coyishly. Cut to, Vincent writes a poem at his house. Cut to, Vincent reads the poem to the stars in the middle of the night while walking at Rose's garden. Heavenly Palace. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, sees Michael on a cloud screen, reading the poem. Michael looking at Isabel at the party. Michael and Isabel secretly meeting in the garden and kissing French. Michael romancing Isabel in a small boat, reading her poetry and kissing her sweet lips. Aphrodite then produces a beautiful ring out of the thin air magically. We notice it is the same ring that we saw earlier. Back to Michael. He continues to read the poem in the garden. Then the ring falls out of the sky and drops at his feet. Cut to, Michael meets Isabel secretly in a garden. They kiss French. He gives her the ring. She puts it in her ring finger. But it's too big. Michael takes his fabric cord necklace that has crucifixion, removes the cross, puts the ring in its place, and puts it around Isabel's neck. They kiss passionately. Cut to, Michael's lake house. Isabel and Michael make love inside a church surrounded by candles. Cut to, after sex. Michael romances Isabel who is lying naked on a mattress. He is leaning next to her, gazing at her eyes. They talk between soft kisses. Michael and Isabel kiss intimately. Then the prince and his goons storm into the church and take them away violently. Cut to, Michael is scourged by the goons till his flesh is cut. Cut to, in the meantime, David whips Isabel who is tied against two columns naked. Her skin is peeled off. Cut to, Michael is put to death by crucifixion in front of hundreds like Jesus Christ. The crowd watches him like a criminal. Later, Michael dies on the cross. Cut to, Isabel is placed at a stake. They are about to burn her alive like Joan of the Ark. The prince tells his goons to strip her clothes, nude, and orders them not to tie her. He wants to see her running naked. Goons strip her clothes, nude, and sets the fig wood around Isabella on fire while people watching. Isabel rubs the ring. Magically, she disappears from the area. Cut to, Isabel reappears at a beautiful beach and walks down the shoreline naked. Then she sees a beautiful wedding dress on the sand as if it were waiting for her. Cut to, Isabel, who has already put on the dress, continues to walk down the shoreline. She then sees a boat. Cut to, Isabel sits in the boat that's floating on the middle of the ocean. She is holding the ring in her hand, looks at it for long seconds, gets up, and throws the ring in the ocean. Isabella jumps into the ocean, and swims under the water. She then turns into a mermaid and swims away. Later, modern day, a treasure diver finds the ring at the bottom of the ocean. Cut to, scientists polish the ring at a scientific room. Cut to, David bids and wins it at the auction. Note, Vincent will play the male lead role in the music video. We then change it with an actor that looks like Vincent at the last minute as if Vincent were imagining everything. And to buy time, we might see it quickly. It depends on the flow. Horse racing track, grandstand, back to, Natalie and David, Romeo. She tells him that she has an idea. Natalie takes out her necklace that has crucifixion. She removes the crucifixion from the necklace, places the ring in its place, and asks David to put it around her neck. She turns around. David places the necklace around her. She faces him. They kiss. She then looks at Vincent with the corner of her eye and gives him a wink. Back to, Vincent and Roy. Vincent pauses the video. Vincent, who wrote the video? Roy, I did. Vincent, is it before Romeo's murder or after? Roy, it's before. We did it last year. Vincent, can I keep the video? Roy, be my guest. I have few copies. Roy takes out the DVD, puts it in the case and gives the DVD to Vincent. Vincent, thanks. Roy, I might ask you to do me a favor. Vincent, what's it? Roy, I want you to follow my wife. She might be having an affair with Chris Penn. They stared together in the last kiss. I think he's banging her. It's not like I give a fuck. But I might use the photographs for inspiration for my upcoming movie titled Wild Roses with Jennifer Lawrence and Mila Kunis, based on a true story about a woman who was accused of killing her husband, changed her identity, and started having an affair with his estranged daughter that he had from his high school sweetheart. And the daughter is investigating the death of her father. I put a little bit twisted and wrote a total different movie. I just need someone to keep eyes on my wife. Ironically, she looks exactly like Mila Kunis. You won't miss her. Takes out a photograph from his wallet. Here her photograph. She does look like Mila Kunis. Vincent, I see what I can do. Roy, people are always fascinated with the idea of murder, sex, and mystery. It's like your first novel that I directed. It has interesting twist. I'll pay you good. Vincent, sure. Just come to the office and sign the form. I'll put my best I have to go. Take care. Roy, bye. Vincent walks toward the direction of the camera. On the soundtrack, music plays softly. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, early sunset. Vincent drives in the Pacific Coast Highway. ext Vincent's Malibu beach house, sunset. Vincent comes driving, parks his car next to his house, gets out of the car, and walks toward his villa. Int. Vincent's beach house, living room, sunset. Vincent comes to the living room. He notices the glass doors that lead to the beach are open. Vincent slowly walks toward the exit and sees Natalie standing in the beach and looking at the ocean. He exits in ease. ext Vincent's Malibu beach house, beach, sunset. Vincent comes and stands next to Natalie. Natalie, hi. Vincent, hi. Natalie continues to watch the ocean. Natalie, you have a beautiful beach house. Vincent, it's okay. Natalie, it's marvelous. Vincent, I don't usually hang around here. I only come to relax. I'll probably sell it. Natalie, how much? Vincent, $25 million. Natalie, what's the story behind it? Vincent, I wrote a Noble Extreme Engineer. It was kind of a biographic fiction, based on my investigation days in New York City as investigator journalist, how I went to uncover and expose human cloning at American Genetic Tech, the leading genetic engineer company in the world, $1 trillion business. They were cloning human, then extracted their organs, killed them, and sell the organs for patients who could offer the price. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Actually, they were designing superior traits, gene selecting to enhance performance, eliminating potential diseases, engineering babies to be more intelligent and athletic, and all kinds of genetic modification. FBI arrested key people who worked there and shut down the company. I sold the right to Sony. They made a film based on the story. They're still sending me checks to this day. Natalie, I see. Vincent, plus, I make a ton of money as a private investigator. People pay me to find anything. Tracking cheating wives, finding individuals who stole money from gangsters and hiding, following folks who sell companies key information to comparators, finding people who disappear, and others. Natalie, do you like what you do? Vincent, no, I hate it. I'll probably become a full-time writer. I'm just doing it to keep myself informed. You know, sort of method writing. I watched Jack Nicholson in Chinatown, and Humphrey Bogart in Maltese Falcon and Big Sleep. I thought I could come to Hollywood, chill out, run a private investigation farm, and gather information for a while. First, I wrote the book. It was a best-selling, then followed by a film deal. They pay me more than I thought. I used the money to open office in Burbank and hired a secretary, and 2 highly skilled FBI interns. I just added 1 more female private investigator to find Lolita's killer. There is a silent moment. Natalie continues to watch the ocean that is lit by twilight beautifully. It looks enthralling, as if it were injected by invisible fire from here to forever. She then. Natalie, did you find her killer? Vincent, no, I didn't. They stand lips to lips. Natalie, you look gorgeous in sunset. Vincent, maybe. But there is no word to describe what the twilight has just done to your eyes. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, tell me about it. I heard you are a poet. Vincent, I will give it a shot. It's like my soul catching on fire in your exotic eyes and release erotic rays that only cherubs and the angels in the Garden of Stardust and saints in France might have seen when cosmic lights cut through the celestial clouds, touch the first 2 lakes that goddesses created with blessed water at the Genesis when riddles and faith dance, inject them with serendipity and romance. The lights deflect into the skies, cover the firmament with billions of splendid photons, and light up heavens with phenomena till love puts me in a trance. These all fairy tales, felicity, and epiphanies take place in your exotic eyes. The photons then collect themselves and form little stars without lies. The stars turn into snowflakes, melt in the air, rearrange their molecular structures, and change into gold rose petals as a pleasant surprise. The rose petals turn into hazel butterflies. They fly for a little while and die in flame in your irises when love cries. And they are reborn in my heart with the image of you and beautiful love, bring mysteries together that are far and nigh, and crucify my soul with crown of thorns and diamonds till I am high, and then consumes my quintessence with desire, longing, and passion before you turn each of my heartbeat into a sigh, and cover my soul with fever that is dry. You then whisper the pain hasn't started yet. And when I think you are nothing but a coquette, pretending to make a threat, decide to read Leo Tolstoy's Anna again, and forget that you are the most arresting girl that I have ever met. Then pull the arrow out of my vein without a regret. And instead I would trick my heart to take a roll of a bullet hole versus love in order to be in the right mindset, and then persuade it to play a game with me in sunset, though, wonder if I should tell my heart it's Russian roulette. All of a sudden, I discover that my lungs are wet. My spleen begins to filter salt and store treasures but tangles in the web that you weave inside body as if every organ in my anatomy were a living thing that lived in the water, perhaps a fish that is caught on a net. Then something gorgeous squeeze my essence till my heart and liver sweat. Blood drops in my belly without a debt. I then find you in my belly disguised as a humming up bird, drinking from a rose that I planted when I saw you for the first time, and which you gave me a look as if you were looking for a pair of teardrops in your purse. Regardless, You flap your wings up to 100 times per second till my heart rate reaches 1,300 beats per minute and generates infinite hertz. At the same time, you change the rhythm of my heart into poetry, and I couldn't help but glorify your beauty with each verse. Yet, they say, we're born with instinct, we dream as if we would live forever, and live as if we would die today. And only through our love and romance can we create the illusion for the moment that we are immortal. So, let me pretend I am a knight in shining armor, sitting on a horse. I will come to sweep off your feet, take you emotional ride, and collect the stars that my heartbeats design for you and endorse. It's a payoff. You mend my heart, which the beams of thy eyes pierced without remorse as if tears had always known that pain has a source. Love allows passion to take its course. You kiss my heart and lift my spirit with spellbinding force. Natalie, that's the best compliment I have ever received. It tops everything that you have told me so far. I want to buy the house right now. I'll sell my club and give you $25 million. Note, the poem will be kept short during filming. Vincent, I like your club. Keep it. I'll give it to you for free someday. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, I don't want your charity. Vincent, it's not charity. It's a gift. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, I don't want your gift either. Vincent, we'll live together some sweet day. She smiles in beauty. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, I'll let you off the hook. They kiss. Vincent, how did you find about this place? Nobody knows about it? Natalie, I did a little bit research, a private investigation of my own. They exchange soft kisses. Vincent, I'm thinking about expanding the business. You can come work for me. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, I would love to. But you are not a detective. You are a poet. Vincent, if I am a poet, I just want to write poems on your sweet lips with my heartbeat. She smiles in beauty. They kiss more intimately. Int. Vincent's Malibu beach house, bedroom, night. Vincent and Natalie make love. It's endearing, steamy, and passionate. We stay with them with series cuts as they go at it with various sexual positions. EXT Vincent's beach house, bathtub, night. Vincent and Natalie sit in a bathtub placed on the shore, next to the ocean, surrounded by artificial candles, so the waves wouldn't distinguish the light. Vincent is behind reciting a poem from memory. Natalie rests on his chest with close eyes. Vincent, let the purest star's beams hit a fluorescent rose. He who has loved and bestowed his soul to hold thee close, in the midst of seductive night and velvet skies. Sweetheart, what heaven's light immerse and deviate in thy exotic eyes? And what soft roseate ray shafts and sets on thy flawless face? No such beauty has ever confessed to a soul in such impeccable grace, and beyond comparison, which scrumptious cerise until emerges and blossoms on thy lips. The beautiful reflection of my soul, if thou art not the explanation of why angels misbehave in Garden of Eden, gods and goddess in Greece, and lovers not their tongues in Paris, let me steal fever to thy lips and plead guilty with passion that changes love into rapture and bliss, and a heartbeat that distinguishes thee as the ultimate French kiss. She smiles in beauty. He kisses her on the shoulder. Natalie, it keeps getting better and better. Vincent, what's your story, where are your parents? Natalie, I was born in Chicago. My mother died when I was 5. My father remarried. We moved to San Francisco. Later, he died of heart attack. I was 13, leaving with my stepmother. I didn't like her. I saw her kissing another man while she was still married to my father. I ran away and lived on the streets for 6 months. I didn't have a shelter to stay in. I slept on parks. Then this couple saw me sitting on a step. They asked me if I was hungry. They bought me sushi, offered me a place to stay for free. Later, unofficially adopted me. I finished high school. They paid my tuition and visited me in college. I saw them as my real parents. They came to my graduation. I moved to Los Angeles. I haven't seen or talked to them since. Vincent, do you have any brother or sister? Natalie, no, I don't. Vincent looks at the tattoo on her shoulder blade. A bird. He has seen it somewhere. But he's not sure 100%. Vincent, what's the tattoo on your shoulder blade? Natalie, I don't know what it's. I looked at it at a tattoo shop. I thought it looked cool. I decided to get it. Vincent notices a tattoo on her arm. It reads John. Vincent, who's John? Natalie, some boy that I had a crush on in high school. He took my virginity. Vincent, humorously, you don't really need it, do you? Natalie, not now. Maybe someday, if I decided to be a nun and enter a covenant. Vincent, do you still contact him? Natalie, no. Vincent, how come? Natalie, he died in Afghanistan. Vincent, I'm sorry to hear that. Natalie, I'm kidding. I don't know where he's. I lost contact with him. He just disappeared without a trace. Vincent, if you pay me, I'll track him down. Natalie, how much would you charge me? Vincent, I'll do it for free. Natalie, suppose you find him. Then what? Vincent, humorously, will ask him what he did with your virginity. Natalie, suppose he tells you he ate my vagina first. Then kept the blood around his neck. Vincent, did he do that? Kept the blood around his neck? Natalie, that's why I got his tattoo on my arm. We were insanely in love like Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton, before she married Brad Pitt. Vincent, how did he manage to get enough blood? Natalie, you never took a girl's virginity. Vincent, not that I remember of. Natalie, he put plastic below and entered me. He torn my hymen. 10 pinto blood leaked from my vagina. He then carefully placed it in small glass container and worn it around his neck. It's erotic, isn't it? Vincent, I don't know if that's erotic, but it sounds a little bit odd. Natalie, I'm joking. I made it up. We just worn each other blood around our necks. Later, it didn't work out. We went to our separate ways. Vincent, that means you're not in love with him anymore? Natalie, I'll remove it when I get a chance, and place your name instead. Vincent, what did I do to deserve that? Natalie, you're the most romantic man I have ever met. Vincent, I'm not that romantic, am I? He plants a soft kiss on her shoulder. She gets closer to his lips. Natalie, the greatest lover ever. She kisses him on the lips. Natalie, I would have cut my breast and gotten a tattoo of your name across my heart if it were possible. They exchange soft kisses. Vincent, I've already gotten your image tattooed at the core of my soul. It'll stay there forever. They kiss French. Int. Vincent's Malibu beach house, bedroom, night. Vincent and Natalie make love. We stay with them for a bit. Montage, Los Angeles. A quick take of the city of Los Angeles. Downtown Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign, Beverly Hills, the Kodak Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, Dodger Stadium, millions of cars driving in the streets of Los Angeles, houses and buildings on the coastline of Pacific Ocean and others. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles. ext Los Angeles Public Library, day. An established shot of Los Angeles Public Library. Vincent comes driving and parks his car at the parking lot. He gets out of the car and walks toward the library. Int. Los Angeles Public Library, day. Vincent sits in front of a computer and looks for the tattoo that he saw on Natalie's shoulder blade. It belongs to U.S. Navy SEAL. Vincent then types John on the computer. He waits a little bit and adds Thornton. He presses enter. Lists of names appears. Vincent sees a couple of John Thornton. Vincent clicks the first John Thornton. The information appears in the screen. Vincent sends the result to a print. He clicks another John Thornton. He prints the information. He clicks third John Thornton. Vincent sends the result to a print. Vincent clicks 4 John Thornton. He prints it, gets up, and walks to the printer. Vincent applies his credit card, prints all the information, collects them, and returns to the computer. Vincent types missing girls between 2005 to 2009 San Francisco and checks the result. There is a database of missing girls. Vincent looks through the missing girls' photos but finds nothing that looks like Natalie. Vincent then types find people in Navy SEAL in the search engine and presses enters. He clicks Navy SEAL official website and types John Thornton. He finds nothing. Int. Private Investigation Inc. main room, day. Vincent gathers his team, Kevin, James, and Emily. We see Lucy in the background working on her computer. Vincent, to Emily, did you check her social security number? Emily, yes, I did. It's valid. Vincent, she doesn't exist before 2008. No elementary school record or anything. Kevin, she might be homeschooled. James, it's not that hard to get new social security numbers these days. My sister-in-law got a new social security number, valid birth certificate, and citizen card, after her ex-husband threatened to kill her. Someone, who worked at the Social Security office, fixed it for her. Vincent, what are you up to? James, I'm working on 2 cases, looking for that girl Lillian Anderson, who disappeared in San Diego, and the Apple lady, Mrs. River, who is selling information to Microsoft. Vincent, don't worry about Mrs. River. You can do it some other time. I have already solved Lillian's case. She's in Madrid. She ran away with Ricardo's younger brother. The artist. She posted a picture of herself at Puerta del Sol on Facebook, using her sister name. I want you to look at John Thornton. Vincent gives him the file that has all John Thornton. Vincent, find out who they're, what they're up to, dig deep. Anything you can find. But make sure you focus on things that have to deal with Navy SEAL, age between 24 to 35. James, sure. Vincent, to Kevin, what are you doing? Kevin, I'm working on a couple of hackers, who made threats against Sony Pictures for releasing and distributing the movie Interview with the Devil. They are paying us a lot of money. Vincent, case closed. There are 2 Ukrainian hackers here in North Hollywood. It's in FBI database. The Bureau has known about it ever since the threats were made. They thought it would make them look bad in the media. Plus the government didn't want to piss off China over a silly movie. James, seriously, who gives a fuck if we piss off China? If they fuck with us, we'll put them the bottom of Pacific Ocean. No offense, Lucy. Lucy, without looking at him, none taken. I'm not Chinese. Emily, she's Taiwanese American. Lucy looks at Emily in wonder. How does she know that? Vincent, anyway, let's not get carried away. It's all publicity stunt. Sony doesn't even know about it. Kevin, so, what are we going to tell our clients? Vincent, we're not going to tell them too much. I got the information illegally from the Iceman. We'll just tell them that the thread is a hoax. It was set up by Richard the producer. He paid those hackers to attract the audiences. He didn't know it was going to get out of control. Yet, it's a calculated risk. The movie is doing good in video sales and rentals. But I'm not interested in that. Richard was dating Natalie. She's your assignment. I want you to keep eyes on her. Any person that she contacts with. Find out who they're. Kevin, I'll take care of it. Vincent, to Emily you come with me. We're driving to Palo Alto. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent is behind the wheel. Emily is in the passenger seat. They are driving in the coastline of California, north. We see the Pacific Ocean on Vincent's left-hand side. They are conversing but we don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. EXT Diana's house, Vincent's car, day. An established shot of Diana's house. It's a splendid 4-bedroom mansion. Vincent and Emily sit in the car. The car is parked near the house. Vincent, they separated last year. Mr. Scott quit his computer analyst job at IBM. He moved to Aspen, Colorado and opened a resort. They haven't officially divorced yet. But that's different story. You'll question her. I'll sit in my car and listen to you. Vincent places a microchip on Emily's cloth near her breasts. She is not wearing bra. There is sexual attraction between them. But they both play it professionally. Emily, what am I supposed to ask her? Vincent, ask her what she knows about Natalie's real family, whatever come to your head. She'll trust you. Emily, what am I going to tell her if she asks me who I'm? Vincent, just tell her you're a private investigator, gathering information that helps you find her missing daughter. Maybe you are conducting interview for school project, or something. Make up few lies. Vincent makes sure the microchip on her cloth are holding tight. Emily gets closer and kisses Vincent on the lips. They kiss softly. She parts her lips, opens the door, gets out of the car, and walks to the house. Vincent doesn't know what just happened. He smiles softly to himself. EXT Diana's house, day. Emily rings the bell. The door opens revealing an attractive woman, Diana Scott, 46. Emily, Mrs. Scott. Diana, Diana. Emily, hi, I'm Emily. A private detective. Emily gives Diana her card. Diana looks at it. Diana, what brings you here? Emily shows Diana the photo of Natalie. Emily, Natalie. She's your daughter? Diana, yes, she is. What happened to her? Emily, nothing. I'm just checking her background. Can I come in? Diana lets her in. Int. Diana's house, living room, day. Emily and Diana sit at the coffee table and talk. Emily, you adapted her from the street. What can you tell me about her real family? Diana, we didn't really check her background accordingly. I thought she was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in my life. We decided to adapt her regardless. Emily, do you know what happened to her real parents? Diana, she said her mother died of cancer. Her father married to another woman. Later, mobs killed him. We looked at her background. She was in a witness protection program. Unfortunately, that's as far as we checked. We didn't want to deal with the government. Emily, did she tell you who her stepmother was? Her name or anything? Diana, never, out of fear. Maybe she thought we might return her back to her stepmother. Emily, Natalie is not her given name. What's her real name? Diana, wait. Did you say you were a private investigator? Emily, yes. Diana, why are you interested in her real name? Emily, she's missing. Diana, if she's missing, why do you need her real name? Did her stepmother hire you? Emily, no. We don't know who her stepmother is. Diana, so, who hired you? Emily, I can't share that information with you. It's confidential. Diana gets up. Diana, she's my daughter. Are you telling me you're not going to reveal the identity of the person who hired you, because it's confidential? Emily stands up as well. Emily, the people who hired us want their identities to remain concealed. It's our policy to protect their privacy. Diana, I think you should leave before I call the police. There are girls like you who go house to house, asking questions. Later, they break in and rob money and jewelries when no one is around. Emily, I'm not a thief. I gave you my card. You can call and check. Diana, how do I know the card really belongs to you? Emily, it has my full name. I can show you my ID. Emily reaches into her purse for her ID. Julia, no, I don't want to see your ID. It's fake. Just leave. I'm not going to tell you anything. Emily turns around, walks down the living room, opens the door, and exits the house. EXT Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent has listened to everything. He removes the earphone and puts the listening device aside. Emily comes to the car and gets in the passenger seat. Emily, she didn't really want to talk. Vincent, it's okay. You did an excellent job. Emily, what are we looking for? Vincent, her background. I want to know who her real parents are. Emily, do you think Natalie did it? Killed Romeo and Lolita? Vincent, no, I just want to see where it's going to lead. There is a silent moment. She then. Emily, so, what's next? Vincent, we'll wait till she leaves. Emily, then what? Vincent, you heard her, there are girls like you, going house to house and asking questions. Later, they break in and rob money and jewelries, except you're not going to rob her. You'll help me looking for Natalie's diaries that she might have left behind, any drawing, photos. Emily, humorously, her underwear and bras. Vincent can't help but smile and look at her eyes in wonder. Emily, I am just fucking with you. Off his look. I heard you've been sleeping with her. Vincent, we're not serious. Emily, I don't care. Vincent, humorously, why would you care? It's not your fault. Emily, I didn't say it was my fault. Vincent, why are you pissed off? Emily, I am not pissed off. I just thought you shouldn't involve with suspect too much. It's bad for business. Vincent, she is not a suspect. Emily, whatever you said. There is a silent moment. They wait. She then. Emily, Mrs. Scott said something about witness protection program and mobs. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Vincent, what are you thinking? Emily, I think Natalie real father was in witness protection program. The mobs found out his whereabouts and killed him. Vincent, why? Emily, maybe, he gave incriminated evidence to the against Rossatini crime family. Vincent checks his laptop for the truth. Vincent, when was Luciano Rossatini sentenced to prison? Emily, 2004. Vincent looks at it. Vincent, who was his lawyer? I heard something about his lawyers giving crucial evidence to the secretly. Vincent checks who the lawyer was. It's Carl. He checks Carl's information. Vincent, Carl is still practicing law in Chicago. He has a wife and 2 daughters. Emily, what about his assistants? Vincent checks it in the laptop. Assistant's lawyer Luciano Rossatini's case. All kinds of information appear on the screen. Vincent, what are we supposed to check? Emily, it could be Natalie's father. Vincent looks at her with a little bit curiosity. Emily, it's an opinion. Vincent continues to check. Emily sees Diana exiting the house. Emily, she's leaving. EXT Diana's BMW, day. Diana gets in her 2015 BMW, starts her car, gets onto the street, and drives away. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent and Emily watch her leave. Vincent shuts his laptop and puts it aside. Vincent, are you ready for breaking and entering? Emily, I'm born ready. They get out of the car and walk toward the house. EXT Diana's house, day. Vincent and Emily come to the door. Vincent takes out a device that is used to open doors, inserts it in the keyhole, and opens the door dexterously. Vincent and Natalie enter quietly. Int. Diana's house, day. Vincent quickly applies the security code on the alarm. Vincent, check the living room for family albums. I'll go to her room and look for her diaries. Vincent takes the staircase and goes to Natalie's room as Emily checks the living room. Natalie's room. It's left untouched. The room is neat. We see all kinds of pictures on the wall. Bob Marley legend poster, Leonardo DiCaprio Titanic poster. Scarlett Johansson in Lost in Translation. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Heath Ledger as Joker. The picture of male and female models, etc. It's a typical high school girl room, except it's 4 times bigger than the average rich high school girl. She has mirrors set, 3 closets, a study room, a private bathroom with bathtub. Vincent looks at the drawers. The clothes are placed folded neatly. There are expensive jewelries. Vincent then notices there are written words on the wall. He takes out a small camera from his pockets and photographs everything. In the meantime, Vincent continues to look for her diaries. He checks under the mattresses, in her closets, drawers, etc. Vincent finds nothing. Vincent then sees a safe case in her 3rd closet near the door. He uses his device that opens locks. It has a lot of features. Vincent applies the right key and opens it. We see drawings. It must be her younger days. There is a drawing of a little girl. Megan is written under the picture. There is a boy. John is written under the picture. There is an adult man. Dad is written on it. There is a cross, supposed to be a gravestone. It says Mom. Vincent realizes her real name is Megan. John is her brother. He looks at all the drawings but can't find her real father name. They all says Dad. He wants her diaries. Vincent goes to a study room. Natalie's study room. It looks like an office. She has a computer, posters on the wall, photos in frames, and other things. Vincent looks around her room. There is a small drawer that has a lock. Vincent uses his device and opens it. He finds Natalie's secret photo albums. There are some nude photos of Natalie, kissing photos of Natalie with her boyfriend, party photos, Halloween photos, erotic photo of Natalie wearing S&M, etc. He thinks Natalie might be super freak. Vincent takes some of the photos and places it in his pockets as he continues to look at the photos. With nice camera work we come to the main living room. Living room. Emily has already found the family albums. She is looking at the photos. We see Natalie with her 2nd family. Natalie seems happy. There are photographs of her friends and new relatives. Photographs of her high school graduation. Proms photos. College graduation photos. Emily takes as many photos she needs, and places the pictures in her purse. She then puts the albums where she found it and grabs another album. Natalie's study room. Vincent checks the drawers at the table. There is nothing that interests him. He then looks at a sensual photo of Angelina Jolie in a photo frame. Something is not right. Vincent removes the frame and finds a hidden safe. He doesn't know the code. He has to guess. It could be the birth date of Angelina Jolie that Natalie likes. Her picture and posters are everywhere. Vincent checks his cell phone. It is 461,975. Vincent applies the code and opens the safe. Bingo. There is her diary. Vincent grabs the diary, puts the frame where he found it, and exits the room. Living room. Emily continues to look at the photos in the album in between removing photos that might be useful for investigation. Vincent approaches her. Vincent, what did you find? Emily, graduations, parties, friends, and family photos. She shows him the photos in her purse. Vincent, that's excellent. I got her diary. Let's get out of here. Vincent and Emily hear something outside. EXT Diana's house, day. Diana parks her car in front of her house. She gets out of the car carrying shopping bags and walks toward the house rapidly carrying shopping bags. Int. Diana's house, living room, day. Vincent and Emily are caught off guard. Vincent, she's back. Emily puts the album back. Vincent, let's hide in the kitchen. Vincent takes Emily's hand, and they go to the kitchen. Living room. The main door opens. Julia walks in carrying the shopping bags and comes to the living room. Kitchen. Vincent and Emily look at her. Then Emily smells something spicy. She sneezes just a little bit. Vincent thinks they're about to be caught. Living room. Diana looks at the direction of the kitchen. Kitchen. Vincent prays for miracle. Living room. Diana then holds her private part. She has to pee, drops whatever she has on her hands, and runs upstairs, to the bathroom. Kitchen. Back to Vincent and Emily. Vincent, come on. Let's get out of here. Vincent takes Emily's hand and they walk toward the exit. EXT Diana's house, day. Vincent and Emily exit. They walk down sidewalk and come to Vincent's car. EXT Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent gets behind the wheel. Emily enters in the passenger seat. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. Vincent starts the car. They drive away. EXT Hotel and Resort, Terrace, Sunset. It's a beautiful hotel and resort built next to a lake. Vincent and Emily sit at a table, having sushi, lobsters, and enjoying glasses of red wines. They are not really eating. Vincent is reading Natalie's diary. Emily is working on her laptop, checking information. Music continues to play on the soundtrack. The music then falls in the background and plays softly. Emily, I found it. Her boyfriend name is John Turner. He went St. Mark High School with her. He graduated 2009. He's 2 years older than her. Vincent, he's not her brother. Emily, what's not her brother? Vincent, it's just the tattoo on her arm, says John. First, I thought it was her boyfriend. Then, I saw her drawing. It says John as well. He's her brother. She mentioned him a couple of times in her diary. There are 2 Johns. Emily, so. Vincent, I thought she might have involved with her brother. Emily, joking, what's wrong with that? Vincent, nothing. Emily, you're talking about incest? Vincent, I heard if someone sleeps with her brothers or sisters, it could result in birth defects. Emily, I'm speaking hypothetically. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. But suppose you don't want to have a baby. Is it okay to sleep with your sister, or brother for the sake of pleasure? Vincent, I don't know. I don't have a sister. I'm only child. Emily, but do you opposite it? Vincent, it's not up to me to opposite or approve it. People have the right to do whatever they want to. It is free country. Emily, we don't really have the right to do whatever we want to do. It's not free country. There are laws that tell us don't do this. Don't do that. If you do this, you will go to prison. If you do that, you'll be punished. I'm not even talking about restriction on Planned Parenthood, but religions that spiritually forbidden us to question the existence of God, and act upon our instinct, like thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not have no other gods. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not commit adultery. If you commit adultery, you'll go to hell and burn for eternity. Vincent, maybe, God doesn't want us to behave badly. Emily, you don't believe in God, do you? Vincent, sometimes. Emily, what do you mean sometime? Either you believe in God or not. There is no sometime. There is nothing in the middle. Vincent, you believe in God. Emily, I was raised Catholic. But later, I got mixed up with the Big Bang Theory, evolution, quantum mechanics, and multiple universes. I lost my faith. Vincent, that means you don't believe in God. Emily, I believe in God, not the God that created heaven and earth in 7 days, but the God that created countless stars and infinite universes in a blink of an eye. Vincent, joking, where's he? Emily, it's not he or she. It's everywhere. It's everything, from a single heartbeat to trillions of atoms that consist of a person body, from a particle to myriad of stars in the universe, from an empty area inside our souls that are filled with absolute void to the infinite cosmos. Vincent, that's deep. Emily, so, do you still question the existence of God sometimes? Vincent, I will tell you a story about a man who questioned the existence of God many years ago. He read the Torah as a child. When he grew up, in order to find out if God really existed or not, he disappeared for a while. He slept with hundreds of women, married dames, prostitutes, and beautiful girls. He killed thousands. He took the Lord's name in vain. He stole here and there. He coveted like Casanova. He broke all the 10 commandments. Finally, he told them he's the Son of God. But he didn't stop there. He said, my Father and I are one. I'm Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. He performed miracles, changed water to wine. Raises people from the dead. Gave sight to the blinds. In the end, he died for our sins at the age of 33. They called that man Jesus Christ. Emily, is that a fact? Jesus sleeping with hundreds of women, stealing, and killing thousands? Vincent, no. It's a false story. I just made it up to get your attention. It's abstract. We all have sins. But that's a different story. I believe in true love that fills the void in our souls and brings us happiness, prosperity, and peace of mind. Emily, I know you were going to say something eloquent like that. Vincent, anyway, there is nothing in the diary. She doesn't really mention about her real parent. She calls her father Dad. Her dog name is Tommy. Her mother is Mom, and sometimes she calls her Annie. Except her brother. She calls him John, and occasionally Jack. She talked about how much she missed him. At the entrance, a man named Iceman, 38, enters and comes to Vincent and Emily's table with a file, pulls a chair and sits. Iceman puts the file in front of Vincent. Vincent, what did you find out? Iceman, his name is Jonathan Thornton. He was a judge. He took a bribe from Rossitini crime family to get a case thrown out of the court. FBI found out about it and threatened to prosecute him to the full extent of the law unless he would cooperate with them. He agreed to wear a wire. In the tape, Jonathan Thornton told Antonio Rossitini, Luciano's younger brother, that he didn't want the money, and returned it. But Antonio Rossitini threatened to kill Jonathan Thornton's daughter if he wouldn't dismiss the case. Guess who the daughter was? Megan Thornton. She changed her name to Natalie Scott. Vincent, you're saying Jonathan Thornton is Natalie's father? Iceman, yes. Her real name is Megan Thornton. Anyhow, he testified against Antonio Rossitini. In the meantime, feds put him and his family in the witness protection program. Antonio Rossitini and dozens of Rossitini crime family members in Chicago went to prison. Later, Antonio Rossitini and his mafia associates paid someone in the government and found out Jonathan Thornton's whereabouts. They sent young Romeo and a couple of wise guys. In order to be invited into the American mafia and become a made man. Romeo killed Jonathan Thornton in front of his wife, his son, and his daughter. His son's name is John Thornton. He's a Navy SEAL. Mrs. Thornton's first wife died in 2002 of breast cancer. Her name was Annette Leo. He then remarried a woman named Olivia Parker. She lived in New York City, just moved from San Francisco about a year ago. Everything is in the file. Vincent takes out an envelope from his pocket that has a lot of cashes and puts in front of him. Iceman takes the envelope, puts the money in his pocket, and walks away. Emily, who's that? Vincent, that's Iceman. He's a hacker. He used to work for FBI at the cybercrime division. He worked for 10 years. Later, he quit and became CIA. He did few things for them, then quit and started his own information business. He can break any code and access all sorts of information system. If you pay him good, he'll get you any classified information. Emily, so, what's the theory? Vincent, what do you think? Emily, I think Natalie was heartbroken that Romeo killed her father. She waited till she grew up, then seduced him, got closer, and that night April 22, 2017, shot and killed Romeo and Lolita. Vincent, I doubt it. She has nothing to do with the murder. She's innocent. Emily, you're in love with her. She has blinded you. You can't see anything. Vincent, I can see clearly. The best vision 20/10 like eagle. She gets up and sits on his lap. Emily, prove it. She kisses him. He kisses her. They kiss intimately. Int. Hotel and resort, Vincent and Emily's room, night. Vincent and Emily make love. It's enchanting, steamy, and sensual. We stay with them for a bit. Int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent is behind the wheel. Emily is in the passenger seat. They drive in the coastline of California. The ocean is in the right-hand side of Vincent. They are driving south, to Los Angeles. EXT Emily's house, day. An established shot of Emily's house. It's a 2-bedroom house. Vincent and Emily come driving and park the car next to Emily's house. Emily kisses Vincent on the lips, gets out of the car, and walks toward the house. EXT Vincent's convertible, day. Vincent waits for her till she gets into her house. Emily enters and closes the door. Vincent starts the car, and drives away. A black GMC SUV follows him. We don't see who is behind the wheel clearly. The window is covered with black taint. But there are 2 men in the car. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, day. Vincent continues to drive down the street. He then sees the SUV following him in rearview mirror. Vincent steps on the gas and speeds up. Ext SUV, moving, day. The bad guys chase Vincent's convertible. ext/int. Vincent's convertible and SUV, moving, day. Series shots of Vincent convertible driving in the streets of Los Angeles and the bad guys following Vincent's convertible. Vincent passes one car after another with breathtaking speed. As good as Vincent is, the SUV is right behind him. The bad guy in the passenger seat rolls down the window, takes out a machine gun, and fires at Vincent. Vincent drives faster, passing cars that are moving in front of him. The bad guys continue to follow the convertible, firing at Vincent like Inferno gone wild. Vincent slows down, and takes his gun from the compact glove, turns around, and fires at the SUV. Nothing happens. Vincent makes a right turn and drives down the street. The bad guys make the same turn and follow his car, shooting at him. Vincent then makes another right turn and drives in an alleyway. The bad guys do the same thing and continue to follow him. Vincent gets out of the back street, gets onto a regular street, and continues to drive down the road like a professional car racer. The bad guys get out of the alleyway and continue to follow Vincent. Vincent continues to drive, passing all kinds of cars. SUV gets closer. The man fires at Vincent. Vincent is hit in the arm. He holds his arm and drives faster, passing more cars. The speedometer shows 140 going 160, 190. The SUV continues to chase him. Vincent tastes the blood on his arm like Bruce Lee in Big Boss, and spits it out of the window. He then pulls amazing die-hard move. He spins the car at the opposite direction and fires at the SUV several times. Bow. 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 Bullets hits the front window of the SUV, the engine, a tire, etc. The bad guys lose control, drive off the street, and crash into a fashion boutique. Vincent gets out of the car and slowly approaches the SUV pointing his gun. Vincent comes closer and looks into the SUV. The bad guys are out of conscious. Their faces are covered with blood. He turns around and walks toward his car. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. Vincent checks the wound on his arm as he continues to walk to his car. He will live. He gets behind the wheel, starts the car, and drives away. Ext Alicia's house, day. An established shot of Alicia's house. It's a 2-bedroom house. Vincent comes driving, parks his car in front of the house, gets out of the car, and walks up to the house, holding his wound. The door opens before he rings the bell, revealing Alicia. She lets him in. Int. Alicia's house, breakfast room, day. Vincent sits at the breakfast table. Alicia fixes Vincent's wound with first aid, cleaning his wound and applying medical alcohol. Vincent, referring to alcohol that burns like hell. Alicia, don't cry like a baby. It's nothing but a flash wound. Vincent, you're burning me. Alicia, you don't want to get infection, do you? Vincent, no, I don't. Alicia continues to apply first aid. She then. Alicia, so, who was trying to kill you? Vincent, I don't know. It could be the Russians, Yuri brothers goons. This case that I was working on before Romeo and Lolita's murder case. A woman hired me to find her missing husband. Yuri brothers might have killed him and got rid of his body somewhere. I was checking their background. Somehow, it's related with Romeo and Lolita's murder. They've been following me for a while. Alicia stitches the cut and covers it with medical bandage. Alicia, so, what did you find out about Romeo and Lolita's case? Vincent, nothing. Alicia, I'm beginning to convince that you took the job to sleep with Natalie. Vincent, that's a good excuse. Don't you think? Alicia, her real name is Megan. Vincent, how did you find it out? Alicia, it's classified. Vincent, if you say so. Alicia, don't sweat it. The case is closed. Pietro Tiziano, a mob hitman, just confessed to FBI that he killed Romeo and Cesar and several others mob-related hits under the order of Lorenzo Salvatore, Gianluca crime family boss, in exchange for government protection and reduced sentence after they busted him for drugging and rapping over 100 high school teenager girls. He videotaped the sex. They found the videos at his house in the basement. FBI didn't really care about the rape. They just wanted Lorenzo Salvatore. They told him they would destroy the video if he gave them Mr. Salvatore and his mafia associates. He rated all of them out. They only charged him with 4 counts of sex with minors, and put him under witness protection program. It's supposed to be a classified information. I got it through my ex-boyfriend that I was telling you about. But most of the details should be in the news. Alicia turns on the TV. She flips the channel and puts it on the news. In the news, Pietro Tiziano, 36, and his lawyer are leaving the courtroom, surrounded by 24 FBI agents, LAPD cops, and SWAT, carrying machine guns. We see all kinds of news medias, paparazzi, hundreds of camera lights flashing from all angles, reporters asking questions, journalists from everywhere trying to get pieces of information. The cops push the crowd aside. Tiziano and his lawyer come to FBI car. Tiziano, his lawyer, and 2 FBI agents get into the first car and drive away. SWAT and Federal's cars follow the car for security measure. The camera pans to a television reporter named Jennifer. Jennifer, TV It's Story of the Century. Pietro Tiziano admitted killing Romeo Rossitini, Lolita Flores, Cesar Materazzi, and 47 people including judges, district attorneys, police officers, and their families, under the order of Lorenzo Salvatore, the boss of Gianluca crime family. He's the highest-ranking mafioso in history to turn government witness since Sammy the Bull Gravano in 1992 while facing charges 4 counts of sex with minors. Alicia turns off the TV. Alicia, it's all a lie. I doubt if he was even in Los Angeles at time of Romeo and Lolita's death. I just talked to his girlfriend. She said he was in San Diego to drop few kilos of cocaine. Vincent, that means the case is still open. Alicia, wide open. Vincent, anyway, I feel dirty. Let me take a shower if you don't mind. Alicia, be my guest. I'll patch it again. Vincent, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. Vincent goes toward the shower room. Alicia looks at Vincent's file on the kitchen table. Int. Alicia's house, bathroom, day. Vincent takes a shower. Int. Alicia's house, dining room, day. Alicia goes over Vincent's file. She sees the photo of Natalie. She puts the file aside. Int. Alicia's house, bathroom, day. Vincent continues to take shower. Then comes Alicia without a single drop of cloth and enters the shower room. They kiss intimately. Alicia's house, bedroom. Vincent and Alicia make love. It's sensual and steamy. The blanket is covered with blood. We stay with them for a bit. ext/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, sunset. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles, talking to Emily on his cell phone. Int. Vincent's convertible, moving, /Emily's house, sunset. Emily sits at the dinner table, looking at information in laptop, and talking to Vincent on her cell phone. Note, we see both sides of the conversation. Vincent listens to what Emily has to say while talking as little as possible. Then they both hang up their phones. We stay with Vincent. Vincent focuses on the street. Medium shot of Vincent's convertible as it drives in the street of Los Angeles. We then take it with overhead shot. Montage, Los Angeles. A quick take of the city of Los Angeles in the night. Downtown Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign, Beverly Hills, the Kodak Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, Dodger Stadium, houses and buildings on the coastline of Pacific Ocean, millions of cars driving in the streets of Los Angeles and others. ext Vanity Fair Club, night. Vincent comes driving, parks his car at the parking lot, gets out of the car, and walks toward the club. Int. Vanity Fair Club, night. Vincent sits at a table with a glass of scotch. On the stage, Natalie sings Sada's No Ordinary Love. Vincent watches her. He still loves her more than life itself. Natalie doesn't take her eyes off him. She then finishes singing and walks up to him. She pulls a chair and sits in front of him. Natalie, hi. Vincent, where were you that night? April 22nd. Natalie, I told you I was with Richard. Vincent, he said you left around 11:30 p.m. Where did you go? Natalie says nothing. There is a silent moment. He then. Vincent, I found out your real name. It's Megan Thornton. She says nothing. Vincent, your father name is Jonathan Thornton. He was a judge. FBI put him in the witness protection program after he testified against Antonio Rossitini, Romeo's uncle. Romeo found out his whereabouts and killed your father in front of you. Later, in order to seek revenge, you seduced him. He didn't know who you were, and ended up falling in love with you. That night, April 22nd, you knew where he was going to take Lolita. You shot and killed them. ext Seaside Los Angeles, Romeo's convertible, night. Flashback. Romeo and Lolita make out with kisses. Then Natalie comes to the car, shoots, and kills them. Int. Vanity Fair Club, night. Back to, Vincent and Natalie. Natalie, so, are you going to arrest me? Vincent, no. I'm not a cop. Natalie, did you tell the cops? Vincent, they already figured it out. They're coming to arrest you. Natalie, that means I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison. Vincent, you'll get a fair trial, just need a good lawyer. You might get away with it. You're innocent till proven guilty. Natalie, what if they find me guilty? Vincent, you might serve 10 to 15 years the maximum. They'll let you go in 5 years with good behavior. Natalie, will you wait for me? Vincent, I'll wait forever. But I'm still not convinced 100% you killed them. Something tells me you are innocent. Natalie, I did it, temporary insanity. At the entrance, Alicia and 4 police officers walk in. Vincent looks at them. Vincent, don't say anything without your lawyer. Keep your mouth shut. They approach Vincent and Natalie. Alicia, to Natalie Megan Thornton, you're under arrest for the murder of Romeo Rossitini and Lolita Florine. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you in the court of law. The cops cuff her hands and escorts her toward the exit. Alicia sits in front of Vincent. Alicia, what's up? Vincent, how did you figure it out? Alicia, I saw your file. Vincent, that's sad. There is a pause. Alicia, what's bothering you? Vincent, she didn't do it. Alicia, save it for your next book. I need confession. Gets up, there is a new development on the case. The person, who called 911, found a diamond engagement ring at the crime scene. He kept it for a while before he decided to return it. We had Natalie's fingerprint on the ring. You're going to lose the love of your life for a while. I will see you. She gets up and walks toward the exit. Vincent takes a sip from his drink. EXT/int. Vincent's convertible, moving, night. Vincent drives in the street of Los Angeles. On the soundtrack, Natalie sings a song. Vincent is thinking about her. He seems lost in thoughts. We see all kinds of billboards and movie advertisements. Then the images in the billboards and movie advertisements change to Natalie images. Everywhere he looks, it's Natalie. Natalie's music video. It's continuation of Natalie's music video that we were watching at Roy's house previously. The male lead role will be played by Vincent as if he were fantasizing. Natalie's convertible. Natalie drives in the street of a beautiful Paradise Road. She then comes to a castle/church. It was a church that turns into a house. She gets out of her car and goes to the castle built next to a breathtaking ocean. Castle. Natalie sees Vincent standing at the chapel. There is a statue of Natalie at the chapel. Vincent sees Natalie. She walks toward him. He approaches her. They kiss passionately in the middle of the church. He takes her hand. They go through the side door. There is a big water fountain next to the house. In the middle of the fountain, there is a sculpture of nude Natalie, facing the ocean. She is taken by the sculpture. Vincent takes her hand. They walk to his studio, next building. Vincent's studio. We see all kinds of paintings and sculptures of Natalie throughout the studio. It's as big as 2 football stadiums. She looks at them with awe. Natalie and Vincent stand face to face. They talk between soft kisses. They then kiss intimately. Vincent's church. Natalie and Vincent make love at the chapel with surrounded candles. Vincent's church, telescope room, beach, night. Vincent and Natalie look at the stars in the skies with a big powerful telescope while having lobsters and glasses of red wines. As a matter of fact, they are done eating. They talk while kissing. They then dance slow and kiss intimately. Coffee shop, day. Natalie and Vincent sit at a table outside sitting area and have coffee while talking. Natalie gets up, walks around the table, and sits on his lap. They talk between soft kisses. She removes the necklace from her neck and puts it around Vincent's neck. They talk between soft kisses and kiss intimately. A private detective takes the pictures of Vincent and Natalie. Vincent's boat. Natalie and Vincent take a ride in Vincent's multi-million-dollar boat in the middle of the ocean. Vincent's house too. Natalie and Vincent kiss at the door as they are about to enter the house. Another private investigator takes their pictures. Vincent's house too, living room. Natalie and Vincent kiss. They remove each other clothes fantastically and kisses more intimately. They go down on the floor while kissing and making out. Cut to, Natalie and Vincent make love in the living room surrounded by candles. David's skyscraper. It's a 100-story building. David, played by Romeo, sits at his luxurious office, and looks at the photographs of Natalie and Vincent kissing in public, and having affair that were taken by the private detectives. Club. Natalie sings harmoniously. Romeo watches her sing. He doesn't look too upset at the moment. Natalie's house. Natalie is getting dressed to go out. She is wearing a beautiful red Valentino dress that shows her skin. She looks breathtaking. Then the doorbell rings. Cut to, Natalie comes to the door and opens it, revealing David. He's carrying a red rose. She didn't expect him. He gives her the rose and enters anyway. Natalie's house. David asks Natalie where she is going. She says nothing. He then takes her hand and places the same ring on her palm that he gave her previously, which she gave to Vincent. He turns around and leaves without saying anything. Natalie's convertible. Natalie drives in the same beautiful Paradise Road. It's night. Natalie seems concerned. Vincent's church. Natalie comes driving to the castle. She gets out of the car and walks to the building. Vincent's church. Natalie finds Vincent sitting at the chapel, on the steps. He is bitten badly. He has bruises on his face and blood stain on his shirt. He is wearing sunglasses. Natalie approaches him, kisses his face, and removes the sunglasses. Vincent is blind. They took his sight away. Natalie cries like a saint. Vincent tells Natalie everything is going to be alright. He loves her very much. She tells him she loves him too. They kiss passionately. Vincent's church, bedroom, night. Natalie and Vincent make love. It's sensual, enchanting, sweet, and steamy. She kisses Vincent's wounds, his eyes, broken nose, cut lips, as they continue to make love. David's mansion, day. Romeo sits next to the swimming pool, working on his laptop, and drinking whiskey and coffee. Natalie comes to the swimming pool area, takes out a small handgun from her purse, and points the gun at David. He gets up and tells her to be cool. Natalie shoots David in the heart. He falls in the swimming pool and dies. Natalie then sees Lolita walking to the swimming pool area. She shoots her. Lolita falls and dies. David's mansion, living room, day. Natalie comes to a big portrait of David, opens the portrait like a door, revealing a hidden safe, applies the code, and opens the safe. There are billions of dollars in the safe. She grabs a pile of money marked $100,000, puts them in a bag, and walks away. Natalie's convertible. Vincent sits in the passenger seat. He is wearing sunglasses. Natalie comes to her convertible, carrying the money. She puts the money in the back seat, gets behind the wheel, starts the car, and they drive away. Natalie's convertible. Natalie and Vincent drive on the coastline of an ocean. An airplane flies in the air. Cut to, Natalie and Vincent sit at first class, talking while sipping champagne. They put the champagne aside and kiss. They part their lips. Vincent seems sad. Medical institution. It's an advanced medical institution. Doctors are in the middle of restoring Vincent's sight. Natalie stands in a glass room and watches operation as the doctors perform surgery on Vincent's eyes. Venice. Natalie and Vincent take a gondola ride at the Grand Canal. A gondolier gives them a tour. Vincent's eyes are wrapped with a bandage. Natalie slowly removes the medical dressing from Vincent's eyes. Vincent looks around. He gains some of his sight. But everything looks blurry. Vincent wants to see Natalie's face like he used to. Natalie kisses Vincent passionately. Vincent closes his eyes. They kiss more intimately. They then part their lips. Vincent slowly opens his eyes. He sees Natalie clearly. He tells her that he can see clearly. They kiss French. Then on the screen, it says the end. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, night. Vincent sits at the table, looking at the drawing of a little girl and a boy. Megan is written next to the girl. John is written next to the boy. Vincent then looks at the photos of John Thornton. There is a photo of John in Navy SEAL uniform. Flashback. EXT Seaside Los Angeles, night. Romeo and Lolita make out in Romeo's convertible. Natalie stands with a gun. She is holding the ring. Natalie couldn't do it. Then John comes out of nowhere and shoots Romeo and Lolita. Natalie drops her ring and the gun on the ground in confusion. John picks up the gun and takes Natalie's arm. They walk to John's car. John places her in the passenger seat. He walks around the car, gets behind the wheel, and starts the car. They drive away. EXT Seaside Los Angeles, early morning. A man named Peter Williams comes jogging to the crime scene. He stops running and looks at the dead bodies of Romeo and Lolita. He takes out his cell phone, dials 911, and reports what he's looking at. Peter hangs up the phone. He then sees a diamond ring, picks it up, looks at it, places the ring in his pocket, and waits for police to come. Int. Vincent's apartment, day. Back to, Vincent. He is lost in thought. The pen falls from his hand. Vincent bends down to pick it up. A bullet pierces through the window, misses him by inches, and hits the wall. Vincent quickly hits the floor. There is a sniper across Vincent's apartment. He continues to fire at Vincent wildly. Vincent quickly pulls out his gun and hides by the sofa. Suddenly, the shooting stops. Vincent picks up his cell phone to make a call. But the phone is shot. Vincent drops the phone, runs down the room, and gets out of his apartment. Hallway. Vincent walks down the hallway, comes to the elevator, and presses a button. The elevator door opens. Elevator. Vincent gets in the elevator and presses a button. The elevator moves down and opens at the lobby. Lobby. Vincent gets out of the elevator, walks down the lobby, and comes to the circulation desk. We see the lobbyist talking on the phone. Vincent, I need to use the phone. It's emergency. Vincent takes the phone from the lobbyist and dials Alicia. A bullet comes flying, passes by Vincent's ear, and hits the lobbyist in the head. The lobbyist goes down dead. More shots are fired. Vincent hides by circulation desk. He checks his side. He's shot. We see the shooter. It's John. He enters the building and slowly approaches the circulation desk where Vincent is hiding. John looks around. Vincent is gone. Yet Vincent has left a trace of blood. John then hears the elevator doors closing. He turns his eyes and sees Vincent inside the elevator. John fires at him. The elevator doors continue to close. John runs to the elevator. But it's too late. The elevator doors shut. John quickly runs to the staircase room. Int. Staircases, night. John takes the staircase. He's fast. He climbs the steps as if he were running on the street, except he had to make turns. Int. Elevator, night. Vincent is bleeding. He sits on the elevator floor and tries to stop the blood with his hand in vain. Int. Staircases, night. John continues to climb the staircases, comes to the third floor, opens the door, and enters. Int. Third floor, night. John runs down the hallway and comes to the elevator. It's too late. It's already passed. He knows the smartest thing to do is to wait and see where the elevator is going to stop. John presses a button. Another elevator opens. John holds the elevator and waits. Vincent's elevator stops at floor 15. John gets in elevator 2. Int. Elevator 2, night. John presses floor 15. The elevator door closes and heads to floor 15. Int. Elevator 2, floor 15, night. We are at floor 15. The elevator doors open. John gets out the elevator and looks at Vincent's blood on the floor. John follows Vincent's blood, which leads him to the rooftop. John takes a staircase that leads to the rooftop and exits. EXT ABC apartment building, rooftop, night. John looks for Vincent. He doesn't see him. Vincent is hiding by a big air conditioner, has his gun on his hand. He takes a pick and looks at John, who is searching for him. Vincent chooses to hide and collects his strength. John comes to where Vincent was hiding. Vincent is gone. John traces Vincent's blood and sees him climbing down a small ladder that leads to a swimming pool. John fires at Vincent a couple of times. Vincent runs down the swimming pool and hides by the tanks. John continues to fire at him. Vincent fires at him back. They exchange a couple of shootouts. Bullets flies everywhere. Then Vincent runs out of bullet. He throws his gun away and hides behind a water tank. John slowly approaches him. Vincent comes out of the hide, moves swiftly, and tackles John to the ground. Vincent punches John on the face and gets the gun out of John's hand by slamming his hand against the floor. John punches Vincent across his face and flips him over. They go at it, punching, kicking, elbowing, etc. It's a realistic fight. EXTABC apartment building, night. Alicia comes driving and parks her car next to the building. She gets out of her car, and walks toward the building. Alicia sees broken glasses at the door, takes out her gun and goes to the apartment building, drawing her gun. Lobby. Alicia sees the dead lobbyist. She quickly takes out her cell phone and calls for backup. Alicia then sees Vincent's blood. She follows the blood and enters the elevator. Elevator. Alicia sees blood on 15th floor button. She presses it. The elevator's doors close and move up. EXT apartment building, rooftop, night. John and Vincent continue to go at it. John is attacking Vincent's injured arm and side. It seems John is getting the best of Vincent. Yet Vincent holds his ground. He's fighting for his life, punches John on the face, and tries to punch him again. But John blocks Vincent's punch dexterously and hits him with a mean right hook on the face. Vincent goes down. John then gets Vincent in a chokehold. Vincent does everything to get out of the chokehold. John is about to kill Vincent. He strangles him. Vincent uses all strengths he has, and pushes John backward. They both fall inside the swimming pool. John keeps his chokehold. He is a soldier. His grip is strong as alligator's jaw. Vincent can't breathe anymore. He's dying. Then 2 bullets cut through the water and hits John in the shoulder blade and neck. John finally lets Vincent go. Vincent floats inside the water lifeless. Rooftop, swimming pool. Alicia fires 2 more shots at John. She hits him in the chest. She throws her gun away, quickly dives into the swimming pool, swims under the water, and fetches Vincent out of the water. Alicia gives him CPR and chest compression. Alicia, come on, Vincent. Don't you quit on me. Vincent is not responding. Alicia continues to give Vincent CPR and chest compression. Then Vincent coughs the water out of his lungs and takes a deep breath. Alicia, fuck, Vincent. You scared me to death. I thought I lost you. Vincent, what happened? Alicia, the motherfucker tried to kill you. Both Vincent and Alicia look at the swimming pool and notice John isn't there. Alicia, where did he go? Alicia gets up. Vincent stands on his feet as well. Alicia looks at her gun down by the swimming pool. She walks toward the gun. Out of nowhere comes John, who is covered with blood, and grabs her throat. Vincent runs to help Alicia. Vincent wraps his arms around John's neck, puts his weight on him. John goes down on his knee. But he easily flips Vincent and throws him away. John then kicks Vincent's face and puts him out of conscious. In the meantime, Alicia collects her breath and goes after John. She kicks him on side of his stomach and punches him on the face. John is a different person. No pain whatsoever. He turns into a monster. Alicia tries to punch him more. But John blocks her punch, hits her in the stomach with his fist, and headbutts her. Alicia falls on the ground. John then grabs Alicia's hair, drags her on the edge of the building, and throws her away. Alicia holds a bar that happens to be on the building. She is barely holding it. If she lets go, she would fall 15 floors and die. John doesn't help her case. He steps on her left hand. Her hand is bleeding. She lets her left hand go and holds the bar only with her right hand, dangling. John steps on her right hand, crashing the bone on her fingers. She doesn't let go. John continues to crash her fingers. Alicia's fingers are bleeding badly. John hears cocking of a gun. He looks up. Bullets explodes inside his neck bow. John holds his neck and looks at the shooter. Vincent shoots him 3 more times in the chest bow. 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 John falls backward, flies down 15 floors, crashes against a water fountain, and dies violently. Vincent quickly runs to Alicia, drops the gun, holds her hand just in time, in the air, as she lets it go. Vincent pulls her to safety. They cuddle and kiss passionately. In the meantime, LAPD cars come driving and pulls in front of the building. Vincent and Alicia continue to kiss. Then they part their lips slowly. Alicia, what was that? Vincent, I don't know. Alicia, you had never kissed me like that before. Vincent, you had never saved my life before. They exchange soft juicy kisses. Alicia, you saved my life too. We're even. Vincent, no, we're not. You brought me out of death. I was in the darkest place. They kiss more intimately. Alicia then parts her lips. Alicia, anyway. I came to tell you. She confessed everything. Vincent, she didn't do it. That's her brother. John. He's the one who pulled the trigger. Alicia, what are you talking about? We had her confession. Vincent, she was protecting him. Why would she leave her ring at the crime scene? It doesn't make sense. Alicia, it might have fallen from her purse when she took out her gun. Vincent, she was holding the ring when she approached him but couldn't bring herself into killing him. Her brother shot Romeo and Lolita. She dropped the ring in confusion. Alicia, do you have any proof? Vincent, it's in my apartment. Alicia, it can wait. They kiss more intimately. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT Vincent's apartment building, later. Alicia tells Detective Vaughn and Jason her side of the story as two paramedics put the body of John in ambulance. Vincent gives his part of the story to Detective Rachel Morris as two female paramedics fix his wounds. We don't hear what they are saying due to the music on the soundtrack. Int. Vincent's apartment, living room, night. Alicia tends Vincent's wounds. She removes the new bandage that the paramedics just put on his side and cleans it with first aid alcohol. Alicia, it's nasty cut. Vincent, I'll be fine. Let me show you the evidence. Vincent covers his wound back, walks to his desk, grabs photos that have shoes prints. Vincent, these are John's shoes prints taken by LAPD forensics photographers at the crime scene. Alicia, where did you get the pictures? Vincent, it's a long story. Alicia, what's a long story? You have to hide it from me. Vincent, hackers. I don't know how they do it. Alicia, okay, whatever. Just continue. Vincent, I saw the marks today. It's a new brand made by Airwalk. It's only worn by USA Navy SEAL. Shows her another photo. These are her shoes marks. She stopped short. There is no way she could have killed them from that angle. Alicia looks at the photos for a couple of seconds. Alicia, what about the confession? She admitted killing them. Vincent, you can't hold that against her. Many people confess for crime they didn't commit to get attention. Even Tiziano confessed killing Romeo and Lolita. She just wanted to protect her brother. Alicia, she will still serve time for accessory, minimum 10 years. Vincent, I doubt it. With a very good lawyer, she'll walk away in a year too. You know, her father was a former judge. Tiziano confession. FBI wanting to put away Lorenzo Salvatore, the Gianluca crime family boss. A crazy brother who threatened to murder her if she didn't help him avenge their father killer, temporary insanity. Maybe 4 months of psychology therapy. Then she'll be free to go. Alicia gets closer to Vincent's lips. Alicia, finally, she'll fall right back in your arms. They exchange soft kisses. Vincent, I wouldn't count on that. I killed her brother. Alicia, she'll forgive you. They exchange soft kisses. Vincent, maybe, I will see her next lifetime. They exchange soft kisses. Alicia, you don't have to wait next lifetime. You have a beautiful heart. Besides, he was trying to kill me. You didn't have a choice. Vincent, if you say so. They kiss French. Vincent carries her to the bedroom. Bedroom. Vincent puts her on the bed. They kiss more intimately. It seems they are going to make love. Fade to, black. 1 year later. Fade in. EXT Vanity Fair Club, night. Natalie sings on the stage, "Sod is the sweetest taboo." The camera pulls away, revealing the customers. Vincent sits at a table with a glass of scotch, watching Natalie sings. She then finishes singing, comes to Vincent's table, and sits in front of him. Natalie, what's up? Vincent, nothing much. There is a silent moment. She then. Natalie, thanks for everything. Vincent, don't thank me. You were innocent. Natalie, I would have been still sitting in prison without you. Vincent, you don't belong there. Natalie, where do I belong? Vincent points at his heart. She smiles in beauty, gets up, walks around the table, and sits on his lap. Natalie, I love you. They exchange soft kisses. Vincent, I love you too. They exchange soft kisses. Natalie, let's forget about everything and start new. Vincent, as you wish. They kiss more intimately. On the soundtrack, music plays melodiously. EXT Beach, day. Vincent and Natalie kiss intimately as the waves crash on their bodies. The end.